Hello everybody, good evening and welcome to Sepang International Raceway here in Malaysia for F1 tonight, 2017 Season 3 Race 14. And here we are for Q1, and as you can see, it's somewhat damp. We have rain for this qualifying session, which is certainly going to make things not very pleasant for the drivers, especially if they've got their racing setups ready to go. There's been good practice going on throughout the week, and most of the drivers have put in a full race already on their practice. So let's run through our runners and riders. We have 16 drivers with us this evening, and just looks like one of the Red Bulls is just going out. Indeed, Martin BMW. So we have Savage in the McLaren, Bo and Bass in the Ferrari, Grim in the Red Bull, Boyke in the Sauber, Nicky in the Force India, Gamble. Sorry, just watching a bit of dampness there. Gamble will be in the McLaren, Tim Shamey in the Williams, Peter F1, Haas, Stoner, Haas, Buddha, Renault, Slacky, Renault, John F1 for Haas, Martin BMW, who we're with now for Toro Rosso, Jerome F1, formerly Portma, will be in the Mercedes, and Phenomenon in the Sauber. So we're running at this moment in time with Martin in the Toro Rosso, and just follow him round. He's obviously on his outlap here. But I'll run through the track and the championship in just a few moments to let you know where we are. We are hoping to be joined by my co-commentator Jottr. Unfortunately, he's not with us at this moment in time. Not too sure what's happened there, but hopefully he'll be joining us either during qualification or certainly before the start of the race, hopefully. So we look forward to speaking to him soon and having him join in on us, and we look forward to that commentary. So here we are now, running with Martin BMW as he comes out for Q1. Only just started, and as we can see, we have damp conditions, so not very favourable certainly, and not what the drivers were certainly expecting, but it will mix things up somewhat. Letting everybody know that I'm sure you're going to be turning up sometime during the queue, so no problem at all on that. Obviously, I don't know if you actually on the spectator on the game yet, if you've come in. If not,
yep, certainly have.
Excellent. You can see the conditions. They look a little bit damp, don't they?
Yes, I did mention this actually to, it was Buddha last night, didn't I, about the conditions. I said, oh, I'm hoping for dry, and I thought, no, it's going to be wet.
Wet, indeed. So here we are. We've had Savage already set a provisional. Whoa! Somebody going off in the background there. Oh no, it's okay. He was going into the pits. Had to be worried there. So Savage has set a provisional 147. Everybody has more or less come out from Boyke in the Sauber, and we've had a few little changes. So John F1 is now driving for Red Bull, and Zwoof has taken seat in the, Grim has taken his seat in the Haas. So Haas now comprised of Grim and Stoner, and Red Bull comprised of Zwoof and John F1. So they've got the intermediates on, obviously not the full wets. Fastest time still 147. We've got Gamble in the McLaren, also set at 147. Bass in the Ferrari set at 147. Martin in the Toro Rosso set at 148, Bo in the Ferrari 148, Tim Shamey in the Williams 149, Buddha in the Renault 149, Rim in the Haas, I can't remember, this is set at 150, and Slack in the Renault set at 150. So still set time, we have Boyke, Nicky in the Sauber, Peter F1, Stoner, John F1, Jerome and Phenomenon. Three of those are still in the pit, John F1, Peter and So, I mean, how does this affect the drivers? They've been practicing all week, they've had dry conditions, they've now got wet conditions during the this session. How does that affect the drivers, and how does that affect the setup? I mean, do you change the setup? What do you do?
Of course, yeah, you change to make sure the setups are ideally changed, especially for a track like Malaysia. You make sure you use a wet setup on a wet track, because if you use dry, you're going to be slipping and sliding, especially around Sector 3, coming up onto the main straight. And just taking a look at the moment at Baz F1 tonight at the moment in his Ferrari, conditions seem to be drying up a little bit.
Okay, so that's maybe what they're waiting for, because they didn't come out immediately. It could have been that's what they were waiting for, hoping the conditions would dry up. Indeed, it looks as if there is no rain and the track is starting to dry out. So,
yes, with 10 minutes to go.
Still got 10 minutes to go, so great opportunity to get some fast-paced times down there.
Yeah, for sure. I'm taking a look at the moment with 10 minutes to go. These conditions drying up, and with especially the conditions in Malaysia, it's always very hot and sticky. So I'm expecting the track going to take quite a while to actually dry up properly and not become a greasy.
Oh, okay.
In the Toro Rosso.
So you expect these intermediates to stay out there for a little longer then?
Well, I'll be honest with you, I think it's going to be a last-dash attempt to get some dries on for the end of Q1, so it's going to be very unlucky for the 16th place runner to be knocked out of Q1.
And indeed, at this moment in time, we've only got one potential to drop, as we are running with 16. In Q1, you normally go from, well, generally you'd be looking at 20 races, so you go from 20 to 15. Q2, you go from 15 to 10, and then Q3 is the final places for those 5 to 10. Indeed, we've only got one to drop, so I mean, is this something where it's maybe worth playing a waiting game, just sitting in the pits with a dry set of tyres, waiting to see whether it dries up in time so you can get out quickly?
Well, I think it's a tricky one for sure. I'm taking a look at the moment at the likes of the Phenomenon, Slacky and Grimm at the moment now. These had, apart from Phenomenon really, they had a poor race in Singapore. A lot of these drivers who are low down at the moment had fairly good results in Singapore. So I'm expecting these runners to, well, essentially want to carry over that form. Oh, it's a tricky one. I think if you're going to look at waiting game though, potentially. I mean, I'm looking at the track at the moment of the drivers out. I'm looking at Stoner at the moment in the Haas, and you can see the intermediate tyres are still picking up some water, but it could be the time for dries in the next 2 or 3 minutes.
Stoner's just come into the pits. He has set the fastest provisional time so far of a 1:46.9. And indeed, as Jottr was quite rightly mentioning there, we've got some drivers there who certainly shouldn't be towards the bottom. I mean, last week's winners, which was an absolutely amazing race, we had Stoner came in first for Haas. He was followed by Savage in second place for McLaren. Haas came in surprise third. Well, semi-surprise. He was running up against Gamble, who was position-wise in third, but due to penalties. This is another thing to remember here, is that we are running with strict conditions, so penalties are incurred for excessive, predominantly exceeding of track limits, and that can make the difference. And indeed, last week did make the difference in Singapore, because it gave Bass the opportunity to move up to the podium from 4th place.
Taking a look at the tyres now at the moment, both McLaren's now on a set of super soft tyres. We've got Baz F1 tonight on a set of super softs, Bo on a set of softs, and Grimm on a set of softs, as is the Phenomenon. So we are seeing now dry tyres being put onto these cars. On this track it may be just a tad too early for a set of super softs, but the softs are definitely going to be a very significantly fast tyre around here. So Stoner may be making a good run by going on to a set of softs if he wants.
He's just coming down start-finish straight. It looks like he's going to be on a fast lap, so running with Gamble at this moment in time. It's coming down the start-finish straight into Panko Loat, which is the first and second turns.
Slim Shame is really struggling through the infamous turn 6, causing some real issues for the drivers. Turn 6 in my league, the people who have had some good crashes happening around turn 6, so it's going to be interesting to see if there's going to be another crossover period in the race between dry and wet, how people are going to be able to cope with turn 6, because like I said, setups are all going to be a major factor.
It is very tricky, as you quite rightly say, because obviously you've got the long, well, reasonably long sort of left-hander of turn 5, and then all of a sudden you've got a snap to the right, and then you've got a straight as you come down to turn 7. So it is a tricky turn, and it can catch you unawares. If you haven't got the right setup, as you quite rightly say, your back just whips out from under you, and next thing you know, you're in the gravel.
Yeah, no surprise, 138.6 coming in from Nicky at the moment, so obviously we're going to see these lap times tumble, but I do think the softs at the moment are probably going to be the better choice in tyre. But the super softs, I mean, look at the track now, it's surprisingly not as greasy as I thought it'd be, so...
It's not too bad, as I say, I'm running a gamble at this moment in time. He's just coming around turn 15, hitting the second DRS point. See what he can do.
Just taking a look at the leaderboard at the moment.
Gamble's on the fastest time
Wow.
on those super softs with a 134. So he's
Yeah,
knocked
so-
off 4 seconds, 4.1
Yeah.
seconds from the provisional pole, which was 138.6.
Track getting better
clearly
with
those-
each passing
yeah.
second.
Indeed. So Gamble will be happy with that. I think it's more really to assure that he's got the setup really okay, and it is dry. So obviously in Q1, very, very safe there. At this moment in time, John is
Just
in
taking
the
a look.
drop zone.
Just taking a look at the leaderboard at the moment. Peter is blurred out at the moment, so is he out of Q1?
I think he is, by the looks
Yeah,
of
no
it.
surprise. Bo F1 tonight going fastest on a set of soft tyres, 134.1. I mean, yeah, I know the track quality is getting better with each passing second, but I do think the soft tyres are probably the better call at the moment. But we'll see what happens.
Indeed. And then while we're waiting for the drivers to go around, and as I say, at this moment in time, John F1's in the drop zone. He's still in the pit. He hasn't actually come out as yet. Let's run through the driver standings. So provisional first place at this moment in time, we have Bass F1 in the Ferrari. He's currently on 209 points. Stoner, with that fantastic win last week, has really moved up now. So he's now in second place with 190 points. Behind him is Bo, Ferrari driver, here with 169. So still very, very close between those three drivers. Fourth place now we have Gamble, and Gamble is McLaren's McLaren, and he's on 132. John F1, who was with Haas, now with Red Bull, he's in fifth place with 92. This is where it gets interesting, because John's on 92 in fifth place. Michael in the with Mercedes is on 91, and Savage for McLaren is on 90. So those guys, three positions 5, 6 and 7, only 2 points between them all there. So that's going to be very, very interesting to see how that pans out. We've got Martin BMW for Toro Rosso. He's in 8th place with 83 points. Slack for Renault, he's in 9 with 74. Slim Shamy for Williams, he's 10 with 55. Buddha for Renault, he's 11 with 50. Jerome, formerly Portma, is at 12 with 40. Grim for Red Bull is with 13 with 29. Nicky for Force India is 14 with 25. Armanen for Sauber is 15 with 21. Peter F1 for Williams is 16 with 19 points. Sleuth 17 for Red Bull is 16 points. Boyke for Sauber is now on 18th place with 10 points. Elfrins for Force India 19 with 10 points. And Miguel F1 for Toro Rosso is last place 20 with 2 points.
I mean, I wish I could see these tables. I wish I could see these tables here. Unfortunately, I've got some technical difficulties happening over here. I think I've been received the wrong file type. I'm going to shout at F1 tonight. Can I have a PDF of that, please? PDF.
So I actually sent you, it's my fault. I actually sent you the Excel file. I should have sent you a PDF. Apologies.
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you, no problem. But I think, yeah, for sure, based on what I saw of the Singapore Grand Prix, and then obviously taking the results into equation, it's definitely a very, very close battle. And one person I want to be keeping a firm eye on is the Haas driver of Stoner, taking a solid 25 points at Singapore, didn't he? So he'll be wanting to try and beat the likes of UF Gamble and UF Savage. Savage down at 14th place at the moment in the super soft tyres, so definitely going to want to get out there and go for it again.
Yeah, absolutely, I totally agree, and I think we've only got a minute to go, but I mean, they're all safe at this moment in time. Going to 2. John F1 is now on his outlap, interestingly enough. So yeah, Savage is currently in 14th place, Phenomenon 13, Stacky in the Renault for 12, Buddha in the Renault 11, Nicky for Force India just coming into pits, he's currently 10. Grim, as I said, was running with Red Bull, is now with Haas, he's currently in 9th place. And Rome actually...
Still not as fast as Stoner. Wow.
No, they're not.
I did say about the soft tyres though. I did say about the soft tyres.
It did. And certainly Stoner set the fastest time, but the super softs aren't too far off. I mean, we're only looking at, what was that, 200ths of a second between first and second?
No, of course, but it's just, I'm definitely talking about the strategy call as regards to the race, because I think if you do start yourself on a set of soft tyres, you're going to end up having a faster stint if we have that crossover period. So if there's a crossover period, the harder compound of tyre is definitely the one to look for.
Indeed. Certainly take you that much further. This is a very fast track, let's remember that. I mean, certainly you've got some very hard corners, but it is ultimately a fast track.
Yeah, Savage was struggling through turn 9 there, losing the back end quite horrendously actually on the set of super soft, but if you look at the track now, I'm starting to see a bit of grease. It's you're going to start struggling on the more worn super soft tyres. If you take a look, especially going down the main straight, you can see a bit of
you can see the sheen on the track.
Yeah.
So that's Q1 over. Indeed, it does look like I think John will be taking, will be dropped.
Nah, John's on the lap now. He's still set a lap time.
There, so we should see which one of those will get dropped from there. We'll see that as we go into Q2.
Taking a look at John's time at the moment in the Red Bull, doing a cracking job, getting caught a little bit by Phenomenon as it comes onto the main straight, the RS wide open. Definitely looking for a good race, John F1 tonight, so yeah, we're going to keep our fingers crossed we're on for a good one.
Well, let's see. All he's got to do, get 136 or better.
Oh, beautiful, 34, beautiful.
Nicely done, 134.3, so that puts Peter F1 in the drop zone. So going through to Q2, we will have Savage in the McLaren, who looks like he's just spun off the track there. Stoner in the Haas, Bass in the Ferrari, Gamble in the second McLaren, Bo in the second Ferrari, Martin BMW in Toro Rosso, John F1 in the Red Bull, Wiki in the Sauber, Jerome in the Mercedes, Buddha in the Renault, Grim in the Haas, Nicky in the Red Bull, Nicky in the Force India, Phenomenal in the Sauber, Slacky in the Renault, Slim Shamey, dear. Slim Shamey looks like he's taken his front offside wheel off there. He'll be 14, he's running 14, and also John F1, so I don't know if they had a collision there.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what happened there. I didn't keep an eye on it.
Both drivers,
very resemblant of Lance Stroll and Sebastian Vettel. Remember what happened there with a bit of a collision. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but if they are...
John's got his inside left gone, and Slim's got his outside front gone, so it looks like
it's going to be very interesting.
One another.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see what the game does in this scenario, because what if their AI has crashed? Because if they were fine and their AI has crashed out, will their car be back in the garage and ready for Q2?
Interesting, because they're not greyed out, so they just seem to be sitting there at the moment.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what the game does. 30 seconds to go anyway until we get through to Q2. It'd be very, very upsetting for both of those drivers if it was their AI that crashed into each other and caused that accident. But if that is the case, will their cars be ready for Q2? Because that means they'll be out.
Indeed, and repairs do come into play. Well, we'll know in the following 10 seconds. Let's wait and see what happens. So we're just going into Q2 now.
We'll take a minute to appreciate as well UF Savage, who managed to get through to the top of Q1 with a set of super soft tyres. So clearly the super soft tyres were growing to become the better tyre in the end. So Good showing in Q1. We'll see what Q2 does as regards to the tyres and the greasiness on track.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting because that obviously will come in and play a factor, and that will make the track exceptionally slippery. So let's see what happens now as we go into Q2 with our 15 drivers.
No, they're out. Oh dear.
They are out. They are out indeed. So both drivers out there. We're going into Q2 with 13 drivers. They will take, in that case, respectively, 14th and 15th place. That's rather unfortunate there. Now, who's going out first? Let's see. So we've got Bo. He's coming out first in the Ferrari.
I'm gonna have to turn my brightness up because it's very dark out there, isn't it?
It is very dark. We're going to see some rain again. Just looking at the track now, running with Bo. Looks pretty much okay.
I think it's very late in the day now, isn't it? It's very late in the day. It looks like they're doing this in the evening, so it's going to be. But it might actually be very good for track temperature. Track temperature will be very low, so we could see some good strategy calls here for Q2 to see what people are going to start on. Should imagine the majority will start on super softs.
Well, let's see what happens. Just trying to send something through here. Everybody's out. The only one that isn't is Jerome. Bo now starting his fast lap. Comes round. Start finish straight. Here we go. Watch him now. He's on the set of super softs.
Just taking a look at the track at the moment, Woods. Taking a look at the track quality at the moment. Significant improvement from Q1, but it's still a little bit greasy on the track. So I think the super soft runners will still be struggling, but I think they'll definitely be the faster choice of tyre as time goes on. Be interesting to see what the McLarens do, because the McLarens are both on a set of super softs. So we'll just keep an eye on that.
Indeed, so moment in time, McLaren's as Jottr saying, Savage softs, super softs, Bo's on a set of super softs, Bass is on a set of softs, Grim in the Haas on a set of super softs, Boyke, Sauber super softs, Nicky, Forsythia super softs, Campbell also for McLaren on a set of super softs, Stoner for Haas super softs, Buddha for Renault on a set of softs, Lucky's teammate is on a set of super softs, Renault. Grim has crashed out in the Haas. He's gone into the barrier there. I don't think he's caused. Oh, he has. Yeah, he's taken off the inside, the outside right.
Yeah, turn 9. Turn 9's been a real issue.
Tyre. And that was where is that?
Turn 9. Turn 9's been a real issue, especially for a greasy track. And I think if you, I don't know what the weather forecast is like at the moment. Bo's been fastest for 32.6. Don't know what the weather forecast is like at the moment, but if it is a dry race, then obviously the lower downforce setup may be a bit of a problem on a slightly greasier track for turn 9, and there goes obviously Grim.
Indeed. So Grim is out at this moment in time. I think the time's starting to come in now. So Bass now set at 133.7, Martin in the Toro Rosso 134.5, Boyke the Sauber 135.1, Slacky in the Renault 135.3, Buddha in the Renault 135.8, just seen Campbell and Savage 133.0 for Savage, 133.1 for Campbell. So we have a Ferrari McLaren front rows at this moment in time for Q2. And obviously Haas up there as well.
32.4. Wow. Interesting to see at the moment. Both McLarens are actually in third and fourth. They're not beating the likes of Bow and Stoner. Stoner on an absolute flyer at the moment in Q2.
Okay, so let's have a look now. How's the sound now?
Let's have a little listen.
Okay, well, let's see what's happening here. We've got Bo now set the fastest provisional time, 1:32.4. So he's now exceeded Stoner's time. He had a 1:32.466, so only 600ths of a second in it. Then we have Savage with a 1:33.0. He's currently provisional third. His teammate Gamble just behind him with a 1:33.1. Well, we can resolve this. So at this opening time we've got everybody out, everyone's done their run. In the drop zone we have Boyke for Sauber with a 1:35.1 and Buddha for Renault with a 1:35.8. So those are the two drivers currently in the drop zone. We've seen a 1:32.4 from Bo in the Ferrari, Ed a 1:32.466 from Stoner in the Haas, who's provisional second. Then we have Savage and Gamble. They're both on 1:33s, 1:33.0 and 1:33.1, so very, very close indeed. Then we have Bass. He's currently in sixth place with a 1:33.7. Now, Bass did come in third last place. Bo has been out in the cup race, so he's looking to put in as fast a time as he can, so he can be up there at the fronts, because he's looking to get as many points as he can. He certainly needs them at this moment, with the competition being as tight as it is in those top six really, but certainly within the top three, and then with the following three as well. So we have
taking a look as well. 7th, 8th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, all 34.5s. So at this moment in time, I think the cut-off point will be around 134. But obviously the likes of Martin, Jerome, Slattery, the phenomenon really cannot stick, as Stoner's crashed. Oh no, he's retired, never mind.
I think he's out like that time. He doesn't need to.
Yeah, I would be as well with 32.4. Yeah, I'd be happy with that as well. No, 34.5 is definitely obviously a competitive time. However, all these drivers are sticking with 34.5 is a risk. So they've got to get themselves back out there and do another lap, because with there being what?
I mean, you know. Buddha in the Renault, I would expect to be setting a better time than that, and can see that he's gone out on a set of super softs now. He was out on a set of softs, so clearly that wasn't paying dividends for him. He's out on a set of super softs now. He's just on his out lap, and he certainly needs to get below that 134.5 mark.
He needs to be in the upper 34s.
Yeah.
No, he needs to be in the upper 34s, definitely.
His teammate Slacky in the other Renault's on a 134.5. So
Slacky now with 34.2. Wow.
Yeah.
So we're now seeing some fast times coming in. 34.5s are obviously needing to improve drastically if they want to make sure they survive into Q3. But remember, these 34.5s have got to make sure that they don't burn out their tyres, because if they do get to Q3, they've got to start on this set of tyres.
Yeah.
So, going to be an interesting call what these drivers are going to do.
Well, let's see now. We're running with Buddha now. Comes round. See what he can do. Vicky also out at this moment in time in the Sauber. Just coming round turn 9, turn 6 now. Buddha. Love that turn 7 and 8. Lovely little turn if you get it right. We've got the hard left now, coming up to turn 9. Tricky as Jottr mentioned earlier, into turn 10, coming round to the right through 11. So he's now going into the third sector. Number 12, DRS detection point. Round 13, takes it nice and easy there. Down with a DRS. Approaching turn 15. Comes around turn 15, just so you know, that's the second DRS detection point there. And then the second DRS point is as they're going over or down the start-finish straight. But he hasn't bettered that time, he's still on that 135.1.
Got clear struggling on one person I'm keeping an eye on at the moment is Bazef 1 to 9. Now his 133.7 was on a set of soft compound tyres, and he's chosen to swap his strategy. He's now on a set of super softs and goes massively faster with a 32.8.
Wow, that's a clear 2 seconds. That's off there. So Buddha and Boyke, drop zone, currently in the drop zone. They really need to up their game. Got Phenomenon and Jerome currently in the pits. They're 9th, on provisional 9th and 10th. So Buddha just coming round clear, which is turn 7 and 8. Down to turn 9, or up rather, uphill to turn 9 through 10. Not sure what to do here. So Buddha comes across the line, or coming down rather, to turn 15. As he comes up to cross the line, let's see what he can do. And he does a 134.2. So that's now put him in provisional 8th place, so certainly a lot safer there now. That's now put Phenomenon into the drop zone with his 134.5, and he's currently in the pits, and there's only 2.5 minutes to go. So we'll see what happens. Let's ride with Phenomenon now. He's still in the pits. I don't know if he's going to be coming out. Boyke's also still in the pits. Martin is currently provisional 9th. Yep, Boyke's now coming out. How's that? Is it any better? Let's see what's happening now. So Boyke's on his outlap. Phenomenon's still in the pits. I don't think he's going to be coming out by the looks of it. I think he's staying there. He's happy to go with 11th place. So if Boyke puts in a faster time.
11th place isn't bad considering that there is 16 runners today, isn't it? So 11th place after a bit of a poor race at Singapore, I think he'll be relatively happy with after 11th here in Malaysia.
And again, you know, this is what he's saying with regards to the tyres, because these are the tyres that he will be starting the race with. So maybe he's thinking to himself, well, hang on a minute, I'm going to be starting on a set of super softs, might as well keep them as fresh as I possibly can.
No, not necessarily. If you're not through to Q3, then the bottom 3 in Q3, that'll be 11th to 13th, have an automatic option to pick what tyre they want to start on. So,
right, so you can actually choose then in that case.
He might be thinking, I'm not going to be as fast as the like of Jerome, Buddha and Slacky in the race, so he might have an advantage in picking a different set of tyres to start on and going on an alternate strategy. Remember, these tyres have obviously got super softs, soft and medium tyres to pick from, and the medium tyres will happily go halfway through the race. So he has an option to possibly stretch out his first or second stint and beat the likes of Jerome and Buddha on strategies.
So just to clarify for myself, but also for our viewers, so whatever times these guys now set in Q2, the likes of Bo, Bass, Savage on those super softs, they will have to start the race on that set of tyres. Is that correct?
Yes, absolutely correct. So the top 10 that you see in that list, if they get through to Q3, the tyres that they set their fastest lap on that you see on screen will obviously be the tyres that they start on at the start of the race. However, any other person, 11th or below, has an option to start on any set of tyre that they want. That includes mediums if they choose to do so, and take them as far as they want. So they have a bit more of an open strategy available.
Right, okay. So, for instance, if Bo was to set a faster time in Q3 on a set of, I don't know, let's say softs, would those be the tyres you'd have to set? It's whatever you set your fastest time on during qualification.
It's whatever you set your fastest. It's whatever your fastest tyres from Q2.
Ah,
so
Q2. So
Q1
Q1
F1 tonight.
Right, okay.
No, Q1 or Q3 doesn't come into play. That's why you'll see all of the Q3 times be set on the fastest compound tyre.
Right, okay. Well, thank you very much for that clarification. And for those that didn't know, including myself, there you have it. That's what happens. So, top 10 drivers, they will start the race with whatever tyres they set their times on.
Boyke sneaks in.
And Boyke's got in 10, nicely. So Boyke just sneaks in. He had to do it. He's dropped a second off his. He's dropped 2/10 off his time there, but that's put him into 10th place. And then we have Jerome. In that instance, now will take 11th place, and Phenomenon in the Sauber will take 12th. Grim in the Haas, unfortunately due to that incident he had at the start of Q2, will go one position or take 13th place on the grid. So there we have it. Those are our provisional at this moment in time. Our top 10 are Bo for Ferrari, Stoner for Haas, Bass for Ferrari, Savage for McLaren, Nicky for Force India, who's split at this moment in time the times between the McLarens. So Gamble is currently provisional 6, Martin BMW for Toro Rosso is 7, Slacky for Renault is 8, his teammate Buddha 9, Boyke for Sauber is 10, and in the drop zone we have Jerome for Mercedes and Phenomenon for Sauber. So those are our top 10 drivers. As we go into Q3 to decide the final grid positions for the first 10.
Just want to slide in and just say one thing for sure is the Saubers will be obviously sitting at the foot of the table of the championship at the moment. Boyke actually lower than Phenomenon by 11 points, so Boyke will have a very good boost in the fact that he has out-qualified his teammate by at least 2 positions. So a good job from the Sauber driver.
Absolutely. Boyke hasn't been having the best of seasons so far, so I think that's going to be great encouragement to him and going to egg him on certainly during the race. So it's going to be interesting to see, certainly no loss between those, and it is raining in Q3. Okay.
I did say it was getting dark, didn't I? I did say it was getting dark.
Indeed. And clearly that has brought the rain with it. So now, what do you do? What do you do?
Well, it's definitely an Inters run, that's for sure. I'm looking at the pit lane at the moment, that's looking very greasy. So if this is not an Inters run, I'll be surprised.
And there we have Martin in the Toro Rosso, is our first driver out. Let's have a look at conditions. Yeah, he's certainly on a set of Inters there. I think everyone will be. Yep, everyone's got Inters fitted. So Martin's first out.
Good old Malaysia, always willing to throw something up in the weather.
It always makes it interesting. So he's coming round, down to turn 5, loops round, up towards turn 6. This can be quite a tricky turn, because you're generally coming up there pretty much full pace, and I don't know how you do it. I generally don't try and brake, I just knock it down again into 6 and just ride it round.
This turn 6, you mean?
Turn 6, as you're coming down,
leading through there, I tend to do it through 7th gear, actually. I really, in dry conditions anyway, I go through in 7th gear to take as much traction as possible through into 7, and then obviously through to the next sort of, not necessarily hairpin, but you get the point. of
Yeah.
those specific turns.
Well, no, I love
Sector
that
2,
clear, which is the set, or effectively turn 7 and 8, is lovely, because if you get that judge just right, you can really ride that round quite smoothly and build up the pace as you're coming out of turn 8 down towards turn 9.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how these drivers deal with it, because naturally the issue we have here at the moment is the track conditions are constantly changing. It was greasy, it was wet, and now it's just really struggling. I mean, even Savage on his warm-up lap is struggling at the moment to take as much traction on those inters. So, going to be interesting to see who starts on pole, because it's not going to be clear-cut as I thought it was going to be.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And I think the McLaren drivers are likely to suffer in the rain. I think Stoner's looking pretty good. I'd say the Ferrari drivers probably looking good, and we're just with Martin now, so he's just on his timed lap now. Let's see what happens with him. So yeah, it's certainly going to mix it up without any doubt. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and then if we have a dry start, that's going to really mix it up.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, we'd hope that we'd have the weather forecast at some point later on in the future, but for now, definitely interchanging weather means that we could see some big changes at the top. Wow.
Martin power sliding round there at this moment as he's coming round.
Savage is struggling as well. Oh,
look at this, he's coming into turn 6 now. No, it's turn 7, 8.
Turn 6 and then into 7. Wow, Savage is just power sliding through 7 and 8. I mean, these inters are just, it's terrible conditions out there at the moment for the drivers.
It is really more like an ice rink than a racing track. So
No, it's very surprising, isn't it?
Martin coming down now to turn 15. Let's see what time he provisionally sets. He'll give us some sort of measure. But you can see they definitely having grip issues out there.
Oh, there goes Savage. Yeah.
Savage off the track.
Coming through 13, yeah.
So Martin set a 1:47. Savage clearly won't set a time there as he's coming round turn 13.
Cracking time from Stoner to get a 45 in.
So Stoner's, I thought Stoner's setting a nice fast time there, 1:45. Nicky, 1:47 for Force India. Bass up there, 1:47.3. Savage is coming into the pits. Bo's coming round. He's coming down to turn 14 now. Coming down to turn 15. As he comes round turn 15 now, let's see what he can do. Bo sets a 1:47.3.
I just wanted to clarify something with you here, Woods. Now, we were talking in the Singapore Grand Prix, weren't we, about the McLaren setup, Boyke going 46.8. Wow, cracking time for him. We were talking, weren't we, about Gamble and Savage's setup. Now, Gamble has a more sort of downforce setup, doesn't he? He has one that means that he's got a lot more wing on his car.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see, I was just saying, because you can see as he goes through 7 and 8, his rear end is more anchored to the track than his Savage's. And yeah,
Savage seems to run a looser setup, less downforce. And goes more for mechanical grip.
Savage has got to really keep his fingers crossed that the weather stays pretty dry for the race, because at this rate he's going to be quite low down the order if his setup is really, really harsh against these conditions, because Gamble is looking very quick, especially entering sector 3. He's currently on 1:25 at the moment, so only 20 seconds to get round. He could do it.
I would expect him. I would say he's probably going to be up there with Nicky and Boyke, actually. I don't know if he's going to go one better than 1:45.
43, 44, 45, yeah, he's struggling, 46.5.
Yeah, 1:46.5, so yeah, he's gone right between Nicky and Gamble there.
He's going to have to find a second somewhere, but the McLarens are struggling, as you just said.
But interestingly enough, look, we've got Force India provisional second, and Sauber provisional fourth at this moment in time.
Now, Boyke will be very happy with P4 at the moment. The conditions obviously suiting him more than the top-end drivers. No disrespect to Boyke, of course, but quite clearly the top-end drivers are a bit topsy-turvy at the moment. We've got an upside-down grid.
We have at this moment in time. I mean, Bo and Bass are currently in 5th and 6th place. I'm surprised by that. I would have expected to be a little bit further up there. But we can see as I'm watching now Gamble coming round, and this car is really sliding. Let's go with Nicky now. Nicky's having the same problems in the Force India, so there is clearly, I mean, the rain seems to have stopped now, so the track is starting to dry up, so we're seeing that sort of greasy stage, but we've only got 4 minutes to go. I don't think this is going to give enough time, and we've got Bass going out on a set of super softs.
Yeah, I wouldn't for sure. I mean, take a look what happened in Q1. I said it might take about 5 to 7-ish minutes, so it would take a while for it to get into there, but I'll be honest with you now, if we take into Q1's conditions, it could be possible that we can go into a set of dry tyres towards the end of this session, so it's going to be very interesting to see. Excuse me, Stoner going on to a set of super soft now, so he'll be going out to try and defend his current pole position, so it's going to be a battle to the end.
It certainly is. I mean, Bass first out at this moment in time. He's definitely finding it tricky, but then he's got no heat in those tyres at this moment, so he's going through those first complicated little turns of Pancol, which is the right-hander of turn 1 and then the sharp left-hander of turn 2. So he's coming round up now to turn 4. So not looking too bad there. He's just gently easing around. I think he's just building her up. He's only obviously on his outlap at this moment in time. So he's got the opportunity to certainly get the heat into those tyres between turns 8 and 9, and then obviously 14 to 15 as well. So he doesn't really need to push it too much on this outlap.
I'm not going to be too sure about where Savage is going to be at the moment, because obviously he's now put a set of super softs on. He's now going to be leaving probably at the very last second to get a lap in. It's going to be very interesting to see how his setup reacts with tyres on a wet track. So I'm not too sure where Savage is going to be placed at the moment, but for sure I think the McLarens are not going to be scratching the front row of the grid this time around anyway.
I don't expect them to be. I mean, we've got Gamble is all holding at the moment, but he's in the pits, so he's going on to a set of super softs as well. So everyone's pretty much changing. Remember, Bass we're running with at this moment in time. He was the first to go out, so he's just coming down now to turn 15.
Savage is playing the waiting game, that's for sure. He's going to wait just till last minute, get a set of super softs on, freshest set on the driest possible track. So he's definitely just waiting and just waiting. So anything could happen with only 2 minutes to go.
Bass now starting his fast lap as he goes into turn 1. Round, sharp left to turn 2. Riding it round on turn 3, uphill right. So he's come first sector now, going second sector, turn 4. Down through 5, building up the speed here, this is what we're talking about, and then right into turn 6. Nicely taken there, he's certainly well planted. Round turn 7 and 8. Nice little loop there when you get it right. Building up speed now as he comes down towards turn 9. That's an uphill left-hand turn.
Just keeping an eye out on Stoner at the moment, who's going to be lapping just behind Baz at the moment. Obviously a very close battle for the lead of the championship between these two drivers. He's having an absolute stormer of the lap going through 7 and 8. His car is planted. It's going to be very interesting to see who gets pole.
Well, I think Bass hasn't quite got the grip he's looking for. He's just come around turn 14 now. Stoner coming around turn 14 now as well. So Bass now going into 15. We've seen Slacky set provisional fastest time 1:38.9.
Look how much time is saved now with
unbelievable. 6 seconds drop there. And Bass, yes indeed, he takes provisional pole with a 1:36.9.
Stoner's to lose, he's on an absolute flyer.
Stoner coming around turn 15 now.
It's got to be 35s this surely. It might even be less.
Stoner takes first place with a 1:33.7. He's taken 3 seconds out of Bass on that. So Bass is obviously going to hear that, and he is not going to be happy at all.
No.
So let's have a look at Gamble.
Savage.
This is really going to mix it up now. Gamble's looking. Looks like he's got a bit of oversteer on that at the moment.
Yeah, I'm just looking now. He's struggling through turn 6, isn't he? Wow.
Yeah, he looked like he had a bit of oversteer because it just snapped to the right. He's coming around turn 9 now. Let's have a look. So at this moment in time, we've got Haas and Ferrari alongside each other on the front row. Second row, we have Renault and Force India. Slacky and Nicky F1.
Don't know what Savage has done to his setup, but he's getting masses of understeer at the moment, so he's obviously adjusted to try and get some more downforce, but he's struggling out there. Currently getting through Sector 2 with 23.5 compared to the likes of Stoner, who's doing 22, so I think...
Bass got time 132.4. And Gamble comes second, 133.6.
He's on there, but Stoner's still on a fast lap at the moment, and he's a second and a half up on his. He's a second and a half up on his fastest lap.
Stoner's coming across the line now.
32-2, surely.
32-2 indeed takes first place. What a fantastic fight in this queue. This has really jumped around now.
Onto the main straight. Where is he going to go? Faster! Whoa!
Wow, Stoner comes second. Was that Bo that set the fastest?
No, faster was Savage. Unbelievable, 32-0.
Fantastic. So Savage for McLaren takes pole. Alongside him will be Stoner in the Haas takes second place. Bass and Bo Ferraris take third and fourth, so they'll be in the second row. Gamble takes fifth place for McLaren. Nicky for Force India takes 6. Martin BMW for Toro Rosso takes 7. Slacky for Renault takes 8. Boyke for Sauber splits the Renaults taking 9. And Buddha for Renault is 10. So wow, this has really mixed it up. We've got McLaren here.
Tell you what, that dry conditions came absolutely perfectly for Savage. So it'll be very interesting to see what we can do and what the setup's going to be for the race.
Indeed. We were only commenting that he does tend to run a looser setup, which for this track in a dry condition is, I think, not too bad a choice, but with the mixed conditions that we can have, and we've seen it for qualification, we've seen the rain, and we've also seen the dry, and it has been really flicking between the two, and it has mixed up the grid somewhat. So we'll have the drivers starting their formation laps shortly, and they will be underway, and you are with F1 tonight, 2017 Season 3, Race 14, Sepang, Malaysia. And we've seen some really thrilling and exciting qualification. Well, yeah, this is going to be interesting. Certainly when we look at the Drivers' Championship, the Ferraris, Bass and Bo were in first and third place. They've been split by Stoner. Stoner currently on 190 points, Bass on 209 and Bo on 169. So Bo is going to be looking definitely for getting on that podium and trying to get past Stoner. But Stoner's looking so strong at the moment, isn't he?
Yeah, for sure. Stoner looking incredibly strong at the moment. Actually, qualifying as once again Baz ahead of him in the championship by not much than 19 points. So Baz has an absolute shocker. Stoner has an opportunity to take the lead in the championship.
Indeed, absolutely. So there we have it. We've got Savage has pulled out of the hat there the last seconds of Q3, taking pole position from Stoner. Then we have in the second row Bass in the Ferrari. Alongside him will be his teammate Bo. Third row we have Gamble in McLaren. Alongside him will be Nicky in the Force India. Then in row behind we have Martin in the Toro Rosso. Alongside him will be Slacky, that's in the fourth row. And in the fifth row then we have Boyke in the Sauber. He's split, as I said, the Renaults, and alongside him will be Buddha in the Renault. Behind them, row 6 will be Jerome in the Mercedes. Alongside him will be Phenomenon in the Sauber. Behind them will be Grim in the Haas. And Grim, remember, was driving for Red Bull. He has swapped teams, so he is now with Haas. And John has gone to Red Bull. Slim in the Williams is 14. John in the Red Bull is 15. Peter F1 in the Williams is 16. And Alfred, Nicky's teammate, in the Alfred is in the Mercedes there. Was in the Force India previously. Forgot he changed over. A bit of a change is going on mid-season here. And Alfred in the Mercedes there is currently in 17. Now, the interesting thing, let's have a look at these tyres. Because we've got Phenomenon, Slim Shamey, John and Alfred's. So back runners there running on the softs. Everyone else is running on the super softs.
Yeah, it's very interesting call on the strategy. I was expecting potentially some medium starters, so by the looks of things, we're expecting potentially a dry race, but we have got overcast conditions, so anything can happen because this is Malaysia, and we know what it's like for the weather.
Indeed, it can turn on a sixpence. So drivers all lined up now. Elfrin's in place. We're here for the start. Lights are on. 4, 5, and they're off for Sepang. F1 tonight, 2017, season 3, race 14. And Savage tearing up to the first corner there, closely followed by Stoner, Bass and Bo just behind them. But it also looks like Nicky's trying to break in there. So they go round turn 1, looking good so far. Into turn 2, round to the right to turn 3 now. And looks like Stoner's dropped down. Bass has taken second place from Stoner. Stoner's having a shocking start. The Ferraris.
Yeah, Stoner's having a really problem here. He's down in 4th now. Yeah, he's having a bit of a problem with the Ferrari.
And looks like he's got pressure from Nicky in the Force India as well now.
Yeah, Stoner's having a bit of a shocking start, that's for sure. I'm taking a look at the rest of the field as well. Jerome having a cracking start in the Mercedes, number 88 Mercedes driver, now in 7th. Up 4 positions, as is John F1 tonight in the Red Bull as well. He's had a bit of a good start. One person's had a bit of a crummy start, will probably be Slacky. 7th place is down, now make that 8, as he's down in 16th position. So, bit of a shocking start there from the Renault drivers, currently down the order.
So, unfortunate there, but we've got some winners. Jerome in the Mercedes moved up to 6th place. So we're really
wow, bit of a tasso at the back of the grid. Gamble. Oh, Gamble's had a bit of a spin out at 9. He's down in 16th. McLaren's. Oh dear.
Oh, it's really isn't. And you can see, look at that. He's just sliding. I don't know if it's Gamble that I'm trying to think now. Is it Gamble that runs the loose tail? I know one of them does, but he certainly doesn't look too steady there at the moment.
Not too sure at the moment.
Oh, and the Williams there, Peter, looks like he's gone off the track.
Yeah, people are struggling. Obviously, the track conditions aren't fantastic. I'm just taking a look at Boyke at the moment. He's going to be.
It's greasy, and we've got a fight going on between the Renault drivers here, 14 and 14th place, and looks like one of them's gone into the pits, and it was
Slacky's gone into the pits. Yeah,
Rosso's gone into the pits.
Boyke's going to be very upset at the moment because of that turn 9 incident. He started up the grid and managed to get. He's at the bottom of the table, so no disrespect to him. We weren't expecting him in Q3. He gets through to Q3 and is now down 5 positions in 14th place. So he's going to be very upset so far, as will UF Gamble. He, the teammate, ahead at the moment of Savage in the leaderboard for the McLaren team. And Savage running away with it, 2 seconds between him and Baz.
It certainly is. He's certainly tearing down there, but I'm just watching Stoner, and Stoner's gone off the track, and Nicky's taken 4th place from him.
What has Haas done to his car? It's become borderline undrivable. He is struggling. He's down in 5th, and he's been losing so many points. Yeah, no idea what's happening.
Just doesn't seem to have the grip. He lost it through turn 7, I think it was.
I'm interested to know how many laps he did on those tyres in qualifying. Oh, there goes Nicky. Whoa. Wow.
Oh, and Nicky's out. He's taken off his front inside wheel. Oh, no, has he? Hang on a second. It looked like the wheel came off, but certainly the front has. Oh dear. Yeah, Nicky's out.
Yeah, the wheel's
that's really unfortunate because he was doing so well there. Got up into 4th place. And Jerome, look at Jerome in Mercedes, up to 5th now. Behind him, Grim.
Yeah, Jerome. Wow.
And Grim has done some.
And all the back markers. all the back markers, like I said, absolutely no disrespect to them, have benefited very, very well from these mistakes coming in from the likes of Stoner and the likes of Gamble, who are struggling at the moment at the back of the grid with damage and spinning. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I think, as I said, the runners who didn't get through to Q3, obviously on a fresher set of tyres, are benefiting quite well. So we are going to see the front runners struggling a lot earlier on than I thought we would.
Absolutely, and look, I'm just looking at positions 5 to 9. Jerome has moved up 6 places, was in 11th. Grim in the Haas has moved up 7 places. John in the Red Bull has moved up 8 places, and Phenomenon in the Sauber has moved up 4. Slim Shady in the Williams moved up 5. So these guys have just crashed through and really taken advantage here of the advantage they had with those tyres.
3 people that will definitely be benefiting at the moment is John, Phenomenon and Slim Shady at the moment. They're all on a set of soft tyres and they were all from new. So these drivers are expected to go quite far into the race on these set of soft tyres. And remember, these front runners all on old scrub set of super soft, they will be struggling very quickly. So John, Phenomenon and Slim Shady are definitely dark horses in this race.
So this is certainly proving interesting. I'm just running with John now, and he's only 0.8 seconds behind Grim in the Haas.
Slim Shady coming up on an overtake on Phenomenon. Here we go, Slim Shady on Phenomenon on the outside of turn 15, isn't it? Fantastic.
Yes, it is. Is he going to make it stick?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Wow, cracking overtake.
Nice job there from Slim. So Slim in the Williams takes 8th place from Phenomenon in the Sauber. They are both running on the softs.
Gamble overtakes Buddha, so Gamble's got a point now. Keep it up.
The Gamble's starting to move his way up the field. Just riding with John now. He's only 0.3 seconds off the back of Grim in the Haas. Remember, Grim is new to the Haas, so interesting to see how he manages to hold off John. So John's certainly got
just taking a look.
And interestingly enough,
Just taking a look.
Go on, you saying?
No, I was just saying, sorry, about Savage at the moment. He's struggling on the set of super softs. I just want to talk about tyre degradation again. You can see that line coming up on the front left-hand side of his tyre. That match, with the fact he's going off the track quite a lot, he is going to be struggling. He's pulling away by about half a second a lap at the moment. Baz F1 tonight, currently in 2nd place, but they're all on scrub set of softs, super softs, sorry, so I'm expecting John to be benefiting quite well as he's getting very close to Grim.
Oh, and Stoner just losing it round turn 13 there, goes onto the grass, manages to stay back onto the track.
Grim's gone massively wide, and there goes John. John's in 6th.
So John now moves up to 6th place, taking the position from Grim. And interestingly enough, what I was going to say is that that is indeed the car that John was driving, so he's literally just overtaken his old car.
Obviously the switch to Red Bull has been a benefit to him. The strategy from the team has clearly helped him out. Currently in 6th position, 9 places above where he started, and he's looking like a real dark horse. Keep an eye out on John this race, guys.
Running on those softs. Now, what we're expecting is obviously these front runners, Jerome, Stoner, and let's have a quick look at the
Ferraris are battling out, and it's given Stoner an opportunity to close the gap. We've got the competition off for 2nd.
Yep, certainly Bo. He's just coming around turn 6 now.
Oh.
But look at this. Stoner's all over the back of him now, isn't he?
It's all about pressure, and that's the thing with tyres of this degradation and this quality, on this quality of track, a mistake is easily made.
Absolutely. They're coming around turn 9 now. So they've got the right-handers turn 10 and 11. Drop down, turn 12, sharp left-hand turn. And then turn 13, always tricky. There's a lot of speed as they're building up, going through those corners there. And, yep, let's see. Bo's moving over, getting ready to line himself up for turn 15. Stoner
medium runner of the
right
day.
on his gearbox there.
First medium runner of the day is Martin, currently on a set of mediums. That'll probably take him to around sort of lap 29, lap 30ish, I reckon, before those tyres start to become really, really bad. So be interesting to see what he makes up on those super soft runners. Oh, there goes John. Wow.
I was just watching. Oh, look at this! Oh! contact there between Stoner and Bo as they were coming around turn 1. Only wheel-to-wheel contact, so no damage on any of the wings.
An overtake coming into turn 1 for Slim Shamey on John tonight. Whoa, okay, here he goes. John's got the inside line.
No, John's got it. But can he maintain it now?
Side by side.
Slim takes him.
Slim. Yeah, cracking job.
Nice job there as he takes him in turn, coming out turn 2, 3.
Still keep an eye out on John though, because John's currently using Rich Mix as is Slim, so they're obviously going to be burning through the off. So my call here would be to John, slow your car down, don't worry, Slim Shimmy will make a mistake eventually. Oh, there's John, wow.
He's really pushing it now. Coming down to 7 and 8 they're going through now. Slim's starting to close down now on Grim. Oh, and he's all over the back. Slim is really flying here.
Say those soft tyres are far better than the super softs. You can see it a mile off now. The super soft runners are going to start struggling around lap 10.
They're definitely having issues. Whoa, Slim power sliding around there. And he's given John a chance, I think, to move up behind him nearly.
Yeah,
turn 13, he's right up behind him now. He's right on his gearbox, so they're coming out turn 14. Now, remember, he's got DRS, he's got the second detection point. Just
Phenomenon's gone wide.
Turn 15, there you go.
Phenomenon went a bit off the grass. Phenomenon went onto the grass and has lost a lot of positions. He's now been overtaken by his teammate Boyke, so a bit of a battle between the Saubers now happening.
So John just can't close that gap to Slim in the Williams at this moment in time as they come round turn 1. But Slim
Stoner right up the backside of Bo. Is he going to go for something at turn 4? Not just yet.
The Stoner's, yeah.
Here we go.
Jerome's a bit far behind him. There we go. Let's watch him now.
Keep an eye out.
Coming around turn 6.
Turn 9. Keep an eye out into turn 9 because something's going to happen if he's close enough.
Oh, and Bo just going onto the rough there. Coming around turn 7 and 8.
Come on, Stoney, you've got it in turn 9.
Coming down now. Bo defending his line there. Look at this. He couldn't get closer even if he wanted to.
I'm not being funny, but I think Stoner made a good call actually. He might have had a bit of a poor start, but remember he decided to call it quits in Q2 quite early, so he might have a set of super softs. Those set of super softs might be a bit, younger, a couple of laps maybe. But that makes all the difference on a track like this.
Certainly the deg looks a little bit better on Stoner's.
Yeah, he's got an overtake opportunity on the outside. Is he going to do it?
Let's watch him now as they're coming around. He hasn't got the legs for it.
He will do it though. Great exit from Stoner. Great exit.
But Bo has moved right over to the left hand of the track there to get in a position, I think, really for turn 1 and 2. He can make,
to take more
this
of
is
turn
where
2,
it's critical, is they're
sure.
coming around turn 1 and then it'll be turn 2. He's got the position there for turn 2, so he was thinking well ahead there. But look at this, Stoner takes him in turn 3. Lovely job there.
Brilliant exit out of turn 3. Good job from Stoner to get himself back into the podium.
They come out to turn 4 now. Let's see if he can maintain that.
John and Grim in a bit of a fight as well.
Yep, so John's starting to close down on Grim now. Stoner itching a little bit closer, and he's certainly left Bo behind him. So John only 0.2 tenths as they're coming around turn 6 now.
John, it's massively, he's going to massive on the seat. He's going to battle with Slim Shamey now.
But look at this!
Yeah.
He's got Slim overtaking him now as they're coming round. Yes! A little bit of contact there. A little bit of contact,
no
damage.
John. Yeah, poor from John. Unfortunate situation for him to be on the inside of turn 6, which caused him to go massively wide. But I'm sure he'll keep battling.
Yeah, he just didn't seem to take that turn 6 too well because he went right over to the right hand side to the inside there, and I was like, oh dear, I don't think he's wanting to do that.
Needs to have an alert as well in that Red Bull at the moment because John has got a raging McLaren coming up his backside, so we're going to have you a gamble in the fight for 8th and 7th.
So 3 second warning there for John for exceeding track limits. And Gamble's starting to close in now. Fastest time provisionally 137.7 by
Savage
Stoner.
straight into the pits. Those tyres are looking absolutely dreadful. It's always onto a set.
He's onto a set of softs.
Alright, okay, my screen says super softs. Don't know.
Super softs, yeah. He's gone on to the super softs.
Wow.
Showing softs and then he went super soft. So
Yeah,
Jerome now
it's
is up to 4th place. Bo's in the Ferrari is currently in 3rd place, but we've got Stoner really starting to close in now.
I mean, he got a purple lap time.
Yeah.
No, he got a purple lap time of 1:37.7 in that final lap there on a scrubbed set of super softs. So clearly, he's been just playing the waiting game and waiting for Baz to burn out those super softs. He's got a couple of extra laps life in those super soft Stoner has, and he could be on a chance to try and take Baz before the first set of stops occur.
Well, they're riding with them now. They've come out of turn 9 into turn 10. So they're in sector 3 now. This is where you start to build. Ooh, slightly off track there. Build up speed. Coming round turn 12. Hit those anchors. Aim for the apex in 13, round 14.
Oh, what a battle. Look, excuse me, look how close it is between P5 and P9 at the moment, as Grim F1 tonight currently leading the pack, leading a train rather, sorry, a Slim Shady, John F1 tonight, US Savage and UF Gamble. It'll be interesting to see if any damage comes on. Oh, Savage is struggling, Slim Shady's losing the back end. Whoa!
What is going on? Oh, what's that? That was Gamble into Savage, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was Slim Shady crashing into a little bit into Savage, and Savage has lost some of his front wing, so a bit of a
oh my god, what is he doing there? He's just cut right in front of the Red Bull. Good job he was going into the pits there.
Yeah, you can clearly see there was some definite anger there from Savage to go straight for an overtake like that. Yeah, the stewards may need to look at that, because that was a bit reckless.
It certainly was, and look at this now. He's moved, trying to make the move on Slim. Gamble's defending, he's moved right over as well. Wow, this is gladiatorial we're seeing out here.
I feel very sorry for Johnny. He was on an absolute stormer on those sets offs, and now with his front wing completely taken off by Savage's, what I think was reckless driving, could be the start of something, well, start of a downturn for Johnny. He's onto a set of medium tyres to the end of the race, I think. 46 laps,
yeah,
could be possible. He's going to have to be careful though.
I'm not too sure. Well, I think he called it late and just went into the pits because he had the opportunity to after that damage.
Terrible phenomenon again, struggling on a set of soft tyres, hasn't pitted just yet, spinning out of turn 4, so he's struggling at the moment in the Sauber.
Oh my god, and we're just coming down to turn 1 on start finish straight, and Stoner is 0.1 of a second off Bass now as they're coming around turn 1. I think he's got the advantage as they're coming to turn 2. He's on the left on the inside.
Yeah, he's going to have DRS and Rich Mix as well. Got plenty of fuel to do it. Here he comes.
Yep. He's taking the
outside. He's going to have the inside.
Oh, he's sliding it round there. My God, look at this contact between the two of them. I don't think there's any damage. That was wheel to wheel, but God, look at this. And he does. He made the move, and then he's lining up, getting ready for it.
As has got damage. I saw some carbon fibre flying off that Ferrari. Going for another one.
Oh, and Bass takes no. Is he going to make it?
Not going to happen.
Oh, look at this. I think I chose my words well when I said gladiatorial.
Yeah, they're definitely fighting and scrapping. Stoner wants to take as many points as possible. Remember, Stoner and Baz are actually fighting.
Bass goes right off the track there, but manages to get it back on, and Bo is down the gap now.
Yeah, Baz has got again.
Bass is off again.
I told you about the front wing damage. It's terrible. He has got front left wing damage. I'm just on board with him at the moment. He's going to have to pit and get himself on a set of mediums to try and earn all that time back he's losing on this lap. I think it was a bit of a reckless.
Now he's got Jerome 10 seconds behind him, but Jerome is clearly going to take that third place from him because he's going to have to pit. Savage, I think, will as well, and we're probably going to see Bass come out. I would suspect probably round about 7th or 8th.
I did say if Baz was to have a bit of a shocker, and that instant there could be the start of a shocker, Stoner could be taking the lead in the championship. He only needs 20 points. A win will take it. If he doesn't get any more higher than, what's that, 8th?
Yep.
That's it. So he's going to have to fight Baz to try and keep his place on the top step of the championship.
There, not too sure what's happened there.
Oh, he's probably just recording something. Yeah, probably just recording something.
So Stoner is now provisional first place. He's got Bo in the Ferrari behind him. Baz has come into the pits. He's having a nose repair. He's 5th now. 6th, 7th. So Baz will be coming out, I think, in 7th place.
7th, yeah, because Slim Shame is coming to the pits as well. So,
Slim's coming to the pits as well. So he is in 7th, so that wasn't a bad call. Okay.
Bit of a battle for ninth, no? Oh, bit of a battle for Peter now, and the Williams coming up on the inside.
Oh, look at this! They're bumping each other there. Boyke. Or is that Slim? No, Slim. Going into the Sauber there, down the straight.
Yeah, Peter and Boyke there, and obviously coming up trying to do a switchback, but it's not working by the looks of things. He's riding the curve, he shouldn't do that, and Boyke's got him back.
So definite fight here, and this, wow, yeah, this clearly the heat and the track has brought out the rage. The rage in the drivers this evening, because they are really, this is really combative out there tonight.
Yeah, it's been an absolute cracking battle so far. I think there's been a few aggressive instances I've recorded. I'm sure the students will be very interested to see what happened between the likes of UF Savage, UF Gamble, and that fight for the top step in the top half of the table for sure. Keep an eye out for sure though. I did say keep an eye out on John F1 tonight, now down in last place after that incident as Peter's off the track again, coming out to turn 10 I think it is.
Slacky's retired from the session, so not too sure what's happening there. Slacky's off. And this is a collision with Elfren. So there may have been an incident there with Elfren. Slacky is out. So Slacky for Renault, DNF. Elfren gets back onto the track, takes P15 for this moment in time. John is in 14, he's on the set of mediums. He was cracking through there, had an incident, had to pit. Fortunately, he was literally just on the pit door.
Slim Shame losing the back end coming out of turn 15.
Peter in the Williams, currently in 13th. He has having a little bit of an incident there. With Boyke.
Oh, cracking battle for 8th at the moment. Grim, Buddha, Slim and Phenomenon all fighting at the moment for that final place in for the final couple of places for the points. Taking a look, keep an eye out though on the soft runners because their tyres are going to be quite well still.
Yeah, this really, I mean, we're only on lap 13 of 56 and it's all happened already, so this is going to be very interesting. So they're just coming round, and Slim is definitely all over the back of Grim in the Haas there. Slim's driving a cracking race this evening. Boyke, he's also doing very well in the Sauber, 7th place. Bass has moved up to 6th place now, but he's really having, he's got to put the pressure on these tyres to try and get
he's going to have to push.
He's definitely got to push. Gamble coming round now, he's currently in 5th place. Jerome in the Mercedes, well, he's driven a nice steady race and he's now found himself up in 4th. He had a cracking start, I think moved up 6 or 7 places from the start, and he's just maintained that, slowly moved up the field. So he's in 4th place at this moment in time. Then we have Savage, who's moved up to 3rd place in the McLaren, and he's 12 seconds off the back of Bo, who's in 2nd place. And ahead of him is Stoner in the Haas once again. So here we have Stoner in the Haas leading the field. 5 second stop-go penalty there for Buddha speeding in the pit lane. So Renault driver not going to be happy with that. So with our race leader now, oh, he's coming round now on the back marker. Looks like Martin. Oh no, it's Elfren's. Yeah, Elfren's moving out the way.
Just taking a look at the moments. Taking a look at the leader current sector times at the moment. Baz is 37 seconds in behind, of Stoner at the moment. So if Stoner wants to really stretch out these super softs, he's going to have to make sure he gets some cracking times in, because Baz is making at least 5 tenths through each sector, so he could be getting some fastest laps pretty soon.
So if he's taking a second and a half effectively out a lap.
Yeah, it's taking about a second and a half each lap at the moment. If we keep staying the second and a half for the next sort of 10 or so laps, that gives him 15 seconds. 15 seconds off his current 35 seconds, we'll say, at the moment, is the gap of the pit lane. So Stoner is in a good position at the moment, but be interested to see what his tactic is at the moment. And Baz struggling from that turn 15 still.
I mean, he had to go onto a set of softs. Really?
I'd have probably gone to mediums, to be honest with you. I think, again, it's not a fantastic call to go onto a set of softs. I'd have gone onto a set of mediums to go onto a set of super softs at the end, but set of softs could mean another soft stint at the end, so he could be looking to extend his final 2 stints.
Indeed. Well, let's see what happens here. We just had Slim in the Williams set the provisional fastest time of 1:37.2, and I said Slim's having a great race, and he certainly is.
Savage pushing really hard at the moment. Wow, he's pushing really hard, struggling at the moment. Turn 9, losing that back end quite badly. The third place McLaren driver at the moment. 17 seconds the difference. Sorry, not 15 seconds the difference between him and Stoner. So he's looking for a bit of redemption, I think.
I think he is. I think he is. He certainly needs it. I mean, he's not going to be happy with that. I mean, Gamble, his teammate, is currently in 5th. But look at this power sliding round. Power sliding round. Oh God, what was that? Turn 14 there. Oh, that really was. And yeah, Gamble is. I think Gamble's got the. Who's that coming in? Stoner's coming into the pits. And he's come out now, so Stoner loses first place to Savage, and behind him is Bo. So Ferrari and Haas both pitted at the same time. Now, interestingly, Bo's gone to a set of softs, and Stoner's gone on to a set of super softs. Okay, this is going to be interesting.
I'm taking a look at Stoner's strategy at the moment. It's a very unusual one. I've not seen this before. I reckon he's going to be doing a double super soft stint before going on to a set of softs at the end. So he's going to be hoping that his 2 sets of super softs are going to be fast enough that he's willing to take a bit of a hit in the final stint on a harder compounded tyre. So definitely an interesting call from Stoner. It's going to be interesting to see how that pans out with Savage already pitting and on a older set of super softs.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Savage is on an older set there, and he's going to have to be coming in earlier than Stoner. But the interesting one here is that Bo, as I said, went on to a set of softs. So, yeah, this is really going to mix it up. We've got Jerome. I don't think Jerome has actually pitted as yet, has he? Let's have a quick look on here. No, he hasn't. I didn't think he had. So Jerome is still on the same set of super softs that he started this race with.
You can tell by looking at the tyre degradation.
Yeah.
I mean, look right down the middle of the tyre on the front left.
Oh
It's
my God.
absolutely
Yeah.
appalling at the moment. He has to come in soon.
So Jerome will obviously miss out there. He'll drop down to probably around about 7 or 8. Phenomenal 3-second time penalty there, exceeding track limits. Jerome staying out for now. This is lap 17. I think he just wants to build up a bit more of a gap. Stoner, that gap to Savage is still the same. It's around about 8 seconds. Bass just set the fastest provisional time, 1:37.2.
Here they come.
So the Ferrari now is finding. He's finding the traction now on those softs to start setting those fast times. Bo won't
I'm
be
looking
too
at the
far
moment.
behind him.
Yeah, I'm looking at Bo at the moment with Jerome. At the moment, Jerome obviously not hitting at the moment, so his tyres are severely degraded and he's struggling as he comes through turn 6. You can see how his car is not anchored anymore, how much time Bo is gaining.
Look at
on
this,
turn
he's
6, here he
gaining.
goes.
Phenomenal, excellent job there. He just cruised straight up behind him, overtook, no problem at all. So Jerome really needs to come in now because he's clearly going to be losing track position here. He's going to lose it anyway, obviously coming in, but he doesn't want to make it any worse than it will be.
He's just going to lose more time the more he keeps on these set of tyres. I think he's got to remember not to be excited about the fact he's in P4. At the end of the day, he started at P11, wasn't it, for Jerome? So he's got to remember that a chance for a podium with the speed of the likes of Savage and Stoner, it may be not plausible, but if he comes in now and goes onto a good set of compounded tyre, he has got an opportunity to gain some valuable points in the championship.
I would certainly expect him, if he came in now, to finish within the top 6.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it'd be interesting to see what he does.
So
He's reacted.
incredible
Here he
points he
goes.
had there. Stoner's 136.0 now, so he's responded to that time from Bass. So riding with Bo at this moment in time. Bass in 4th place. Jerome has indeed pitted. He's gone to a set of super softs.
And another interesting call, another set of super softs. So he'll be doing the soft run to the end as well after that. So Jerome and Stoner
Going
both
to come
on the
out
same
in
strategy.
6th place, I think, by the looks of it.
Gamble could be there.
No, Gamble's there, so it is 7th place he comes out on. Yeah, so.
As is Grim.
Oh, 8th, yeah, and Grim, so he's come out in 8th place, so yeah, he was pretty much where I was
Had to
saying.
come in a little bit early if I was Jerome.
If he'd come in a bit earlier, he could have got 7th place. He could have come out in 7th.
Yeah,
That's the
it's
thing.
not worst case scenario for him though, because remember Grim is now on a fairly new set of super softs. Gamble obviously on a slightly older set, so Jerome on that fresher set of super softs will be faster than the cars in front. So it could be an opportunity for him to be able to get
Grim
6th.
and Gamble. And indeed Slim as well, so I think the Ferrari drivers pretty much called it right, but I don't know if it's me or whether that sky is greying up again. It looks like
Yeah,
it's
that
darker
sky's
again.
not looking good. Yeah, it is looking
Oh
dark
dear,
again.
and Bass going off on turn 13 or 14. So out of turn 13 to
The
14,
less
goes off
mistakes
the
Baz
track.
does, the better. Oh dear.
So he's lost some time there.
Worth making a note, the car of US Savage, the McLaren, at the moment is now being caught up quite well by Stoner. Now obviously Savage just wants to take as many points as he can, and the best way to do that, hold up your opponent. How far can he hold Stoner up before Stoner gets him?
Well, Stoner is really just cutting into that gap now. It won't be too long. I think about another couple of laps, he's probably going to be on the back end.
Stoner needs to get round Savage as fast as possible, because even though Baz is making these tiny little mistakes, he will be faster. So Stoner really needs to get round Savage as quick as possible in order for Baz not to catch up, because there's only, what, 16 seconds separating them?
Yeah, nothing, well, you know, it's enough. We'll certainly close down that. I'm just watching Jerome now, looking to make the move on Grim and the Haas.
Oh, cracking battling through
Yes,
turn
he
4.
does. Cracking little job there. Does it there, turn 4. So Jerome moving up the field now. He takes 7th place from Grim. He now needs to close down on Gamble. And you can see him ahead. Ooh, Grim going off. Yeah, he's not too happy with that at this moment in time.
Second and a half gain and half a lap between Savage
Look
and
at that from Stoner, I told you, didn't he? 2 laps.
Yeah.
He is going to be riding that gearbox. As they go across the line, 1.7 seconds, nothing in it. He will be waving to image in his rearview mirrors in the next few corners. Hello, I'm here. So it's really now
Slicing
very
through here.
interesting indeed. This is very much down to strategy here, because you know, I'm looking at these well, top 7 drivers, and I'm thinking, oh, you know, it's certainly going to prove interesting. It is going to be on the strategy there, because
Oh, look how much time he's gaining on Savage. Wow. Sorry to interrupt, I was just taking a look through there. Through just 2 turns, he's gained, at least cut that gap in half. He's now less than, well, it's got to be less than half a second, surely.
coming around turn 10 now. This is where it's going to tell. Let's watch. Oh, and Savage going off track. Oh,
He's under pressure, he's under pressure.
Opportunities are closed right down now.
He's under a lot of pressure. DRS coming up obviously into turn 15, and he's going to have a lot more grip. Stoner has. How far can Savage keep him behind?
And the thing is, Savage hasn't got DRS, so there's no one ahead of him to activate it.
Yeah, possibly though. We've got the back marker, which means if the back marker is fast enough and doesn't get Like Savage can have DRS on the next set of turns, but I think Stoner's going to have him before then.
Well, Peter in the Williams is ahead of them at this moment in time. They're just coming round turn 2.
Sorry, just closing that gearbox then. Haas really having to brake hard then to avoid getting into the back end of the McLaren of Savage. Coming into turn 4 now, I'm expecting a lot of time gains through 4, 5, 6 and 7.
They got that Williams ahead of them though, that's the problem.
Nah, I don't think it'll be a problem. I think it will be a problem if he does get within DRS range of Savage. If that happens, that could be the end of that battle for that lap, that's for sure.
Well, Savage is clearly under pressure now from Stoner in the Haas. Still feel that Williams is going to come into play here.
Got to remember that each turn,
back off.
Got to remember that each turn that Stoner is behind Savage means that Baz is gaining time, because I've got no doubt that Bo will let him through no problem.
Well, I think, you know, there is definitely going to be some cooperation between the Ferrari drivers.
He isn't. Oh, okay, so the Williams is still not close enough for Savage to get DRS. So Stoner's going to maybe have a look into turn 15. Oh, get out of the way, Williams.
Yes, he's moved. Ooh, that was a good move there by Peter.
Sunshine again down on the track, so looking like we're not having rain just yet.
Stoner is definitely biding his time. He's just waiting for his opportunity. He's not going to force it, but certainly if a window opens, I think he's going to jump through it.
No, he needs to get round him, because he's got to remember these super softs are degrading faster than any other tyre on track. If he continues fighting Savage for position, he's just going to end up ruining a set of tyres by the time he gets round him, and then the softer compound tyre Ferraris are going to start catching up. So he has to get round him, he has to get round him now.
Well, I don't think it's going to be as easy as that. Unfortunately, watching this now as they come around turn 8, he's getting into position there to try and get, you can see he's trying to get the angles on these corners as best as he can as they come up round turn 10 now. And this is where they start to build up speed here, so building up speed through 12 and 13, and then you've got to slam on the anchors, drop the gears as you come around 14. We've seen Savage struggle behind there, but he did that beautifully.
Yeah.
Did that beautifully there. And Stoner looking to try and see which way to go as they're coming round turn 15. He's just go this way, go that way, which way can I get a peek in? Now, in my opinion, really, the left-hand side is the preferable side here as you're coming into turn 1 because of turn 2. And you can see, yeah, Savage taking that line, as is Stoner.
Yeah, but he's going wide. Savage is struggling through those sort of medium to low turning, slow speed rather, turns. So he's going to be making massive time through sector 1 is Stoner. He's only 3/10 separating them, and obviously going to go into turn 4. Is he going to look for it? Not just yet.
No. As I say, I think Stoner's just hanging back. He's keeping up with him, but he's not putting too.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. He's making the move now. No,
he's not looking for it. Ah, there we are.
Oh!
He's going to give that position.
He's going to give that position back there. I think he's heard what you said, realising that really he needs to get this position down because
he needs to get around.
All that's happening here is Bass and Bo are just closing them down.
He doesn't want to burn through the tyres either, though. You've got to remember, obviously these were super soft set of tyres, and these will burn through quickly and quickly and quickly. So remember, these soft runners are obviously nothing overtake potentially into 14. No, the soft runners are obviously going to be pitting around about the same time, I think, to these super soft runners. So if the more time he gets stuck behind Savage, the more these tyres are basically going to be burnt, and the less chance of being able to extend his second stint.
Well, he's got DRS on him now as they're coming up to turn 1.
Cracking onto the inside.
He's got that left-hand advantage. Can he use it?
Yeah, great work.
Can he get there? Yes!
Yeah, fantastic
He
work,
does.
brilliant.
Lovely job there. He took the left-handers there coming into turn 1, getting himself lined up for turn 2, and that is definitely the line to take if you're looking to make that move. Quite surprised that Savage didn't close the door on him there.
No, great example of some clean racing that, especially after that incident with John F1 tonight. From Savage, left the space, left him get down there. At the end of the day, they're on 2 different strategies.
Yeah, absolutely. So Stoner now released to try and get those laps down as much as he possibly can, because he's going to need to pit before his main competitors for the championship, Bo and Bass. So he needs to really open up that gap as much as he possibly can now. So looking down the field, let's go through where we are. So Stoner has taken first place. We're on lap 24.56, so we're nearly halfway through. Stoner takes provisional first place back from Savage. Savage for McLaren is in second. Third is Bo for Ferrari. Behind him is his teammate Bass. Then we have Slim Shamey for Williams is in 5th place. Fantastic race from Slim here. He really has done a cracking race. He set one of the fastest laps earlier. And Savage is coming into the pits. So Savage in the pits, he's going to be coming out round about 6th position then, behind, or in front of his teammate Gamble. So
could be a bit of a battle with his teammate, yeah.
Could be a definite battle between those two, without any doubt.
Set of soft tyres for him now.
So Gamble is in 6th place, and Gamble is power sliding round the corners here. Just watch him round turn 15. He's just come out of
Savage needed a bit of a nose change as well. I did make note that he did have some wing damage. Obviously his tyre degradation was going to be higher, but I think he will be out in front of his teammate, maybe in front of Slim Shamey.
Well, Gamble's just on the start finish straight now. Let's have a look. Yep. Behind him is Jerome in 7th place.
Good call.
Savage, nice 4th place there. So he comes out ahead of Slim. I was expecting him to actually come out behind, so great job there. So Savage comes out in 4th, Slim's in 5th, Gamble is now in 6th. Jerome in the Mercedes is closing in on the back of Gamble. He's in 7th place. So then we have Boyke, he's in 8th for Sauber. John for Red Bull is 9th. Martin for Toro Rosso is 10th, and he's under severe pressure at this moment in time from Buddha as they're coming round turn 15. Let's watch what happens here. So they're coming down the start finish straight into turn 1. Both taking the left hand there. Buddha's only 0.8 of a second behind Martin at this moment in time as they came across the line there.
Worth making a note as well.
I think Martin's opening up. We've got Phenomenon in 12th place for Sauber. Grimm for Haas is currently in 13th place. Not the best of races for him, and his first race this season in the Haas as well. Then we have Peter Williams, he's currently in 14th. Elfren for the Mercedes is 15th. And Slacky and Slacky for Renault and Nicky there for Force India DNFs earlier in the race. So there's our race leader Stoner. He's now got Bo in 2nd place. Obviously we saw Savage pit, so Bo and Bass now have moved up from 3rd and 4th into 2nd and 3rd. He's still 9 seconds behind Stoner, and Bass is 8 seconds behind his teammate Bo, and that gap doesn't seem to have changed over the past few laps.
No, that's not too bad of a sign for the soft runners. So obviously they're going to be on a slightly lesser tyre degradation strategy. So the Stoner, you may start to see in the next possibly 4 laps, unless Stoner pits, that Bo and Baz may start to gain on Stoner. So keep your eyes open on that. I'm also keeping an eye out as well on John F1 tonight. Now,
that's okay. No, that's okay. It's, Grimm unfortunately has had a technical issue.
Yeah,
his Xbox has died on him apparently.
Oh dear.
So he's clearly dropping down and down the field there.
Just wants to go back to the point of John F1 tonight, though. Woods just wants to make clear that obviously he's now on a set of mediums and has been on those mediums since around lap 10, I think it was, where he had a bit of an incident with UF Savage and the McLaren. Now he was making his way up the field. He was 16th at one point. He's now P9. So I'm thinking maybe a super soft run at the end of the race for him could see him staying in the points. So good work from him. And Savage goes fastest lap.
Wow. So Savage pulls out the fastest lap there at this moment in time. But yeah, no, I agree with you. And you know, John is an experienced driver. He always generally sets some really good qualifying times. Doesn't always have the best of starts or mids to the races, but keeps his pace, keeps to his strategy, and you generally tends to find him in the sort of top 6 or 7. Sometimes, you know, certainly in the top 4 or 5. But he's definitely got his time, and I agree with you. He's on a set of mediums there. He's probably, there's every likelihood he might be looking to maybe pit, what, probably lap, I don't know, 45 and take the last 10, 11 laps on a set of super softs.
Yeah, I'd absolutely go for that for John. I think they'll go all-out attack towards the end of the race. So as long as he can maintain the gap behind him and extend his lead, overtaking rather the cars in front of him, the likes of Boyke and the likes of Slim Shady maybe in the long run, as Jerome has managed to get round UF Gamble. UF Gamble clearly struggling on those very, very old set of super softs.
Yeah, and that was round turn 8 there.
Jerome's still losing that back end though in that Mercedes. Ooh, okay. Obviously, remember Jerome was on a set of super softs at the start of this race and pitted around lap 20, something like that. So those super softs,
2021, yeah.
So he's obviously likes to extend his super soft stint, so he can probably take these to I'd say probably actually next couple of laps and then call it quits and take it to a soft stint towards the end of the race, much like what I think Stoner is doing. So doing a good job at the moment.
Gamble there looking, he's really fighting to get that place back from Jerome, but Jerome not having any of it. Dear, look at this.
He's going to have the wrong side though, Gamble, but
I think Jerome's giving him a little bit of an ease there.
Nah.
Don't bit of expecting him to do what he did, to be fair.
Bit of touching on my screen as well between the Mercedes and the McLaren driver, but it kept reasonably clean, so now Gamble and Savage sharing 4th and 5th.
So there we have it, McLaren now 4th and 5th, Savage and Gamble respectively. Then we have Ferrari 2nd and 3rd, Bow and Bass respectively. And Stoner has opened up that gap. I mean, it was around about sort of early 9
seconds
to 10.5 seconds.
Nearly 11. Yeah, he's doing a cracking job on the set of super softs.
He's definitely doing what he needs to do, which is setting his mark, because if he were to pit, he'd probably come out round about 4th place.
I'm expecting
just ahead of Savage.
I am expecting Stoner actually to take these tyres probably to around, similarly to what the likes of Jerome is doing, around 35-ish maybe, to go onto a set of softs maybe to the end of the race, around 35, maybe 40 to go onto a set of softs to the end of the race. Meanwhile, Bo and Baz are probably going to come into the pits around about lap 45 as well, I think, but potentially onto a set of super soft tyres. So it's going to be a hard one to predict. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's definitely interesting on the strategy, that's for sure.
Well, I said it quite a few laps ago. It could be anyone's in that top 7 really, and it is very much a strategy race. This Grand Prix. Because everyone's pretty much in a good pace. It does come very much down to strategy.
Nice to see Graham's managed to get his Xbox back online. He'll be rejoining the race in P14, unfortunately, so he'll be racing with Peter F1 tonight. Just keeping a firm eye at the moment on John F1 tonight and Boyke at the moment. Now remember, John on a set of mediums from around lap 10. He's been on them now for now 20 laps. Medium's not looking too bad at the moment, I must say. It's a little bit of degradation, but he is gaining a lot of time. So good potentially on for him and Boyke.
They're looking pretty clean. I think they will take him up round about the mid-40s if he wants to. But as you say, he's closing in that gap on Boyke. It was a little bit less. It was around about 0.8 a couple of laps ago, so he's dropped back a little bit. But also I'm watching Jerome still on gamble, and again that was around about 0.5, 0.6. It's now 0.8. But gamble is it's his style as well of driving. So difficult to tell because he does like to slip and slide as well. But Jerome's certainly staying close to him, so he's got the potential to pick that place back up again. So and again, look at this, the gap to Stoner, it's now 11.3 seconds. So he's really tearing into this now.
Just taking a quick look at the moment, Grim now down in 15th position. I think he's had a bit of a poor restart into the race. I think again in lap 13 on the set of soft tyres, looking fairly fresh though, so he could be on for a bit of a battle to try and get in front of Elfan. So looking like a cracking battle. Keep an eye out though on the battle for first for sure, because I'm not too sure when I'm going to see Bo gaining time on Stoner, if indeed it happens at all.
I don't think he will. I don't think he will. I think Stoner is really called this very, very well indeed.
Yeah, it's a double super soft stint. I've never seen people do a double super soft stint before. Woods, I don't know if you've seen it before. I've never seen a double super soft stint on esports before. But it's a very good call because clearly he's pulling ahead and managing the tyre degradation well, not locking up his tyres and making sure he looks after them, as well as being the fastest car on the track.
Pretty good. I mean, we're on about 31 now. They're not looking too bad. There's a bit of certainly degradation on the left hand inside, but they're not looking too bad.
Yeah, taking a look as well at the tyres of that Jerome as well. Now Jerome pitted a couple of laps later, didn't he, on the Supersoft, and you can see the visible mark is now starting to appear. Compare that to the likes of UF Gamble, they are looking rotten at the moment, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, but oh my god, they are looking, and it certainly doesn't play to his driving style. And Gamble's currently 28 seconds off the back of his teammate Savage, who's in 4th place. Bass is still maintaining the gap to his teammate Bo, so it's not that the Ferraris are going any slower.
It's just Stoner going quite quick.
That's now up to 12.3 seconds. So
he's doing really well.
Opening up that gap.
That, my friend, is the driving style of a world champion in the making for sure. I think it's definitely going to be a good battle for season 3 here at F1 tonight, and I'm thinking if strategic purpose of this these drivers for sure, Stoner is definitely thinking one step ahead of Baz, so Baz is going to have to start thinking outside the box with this strategy if he wants to win the title.
I think so. I mean, Stoner has really progressed so well in this F1 Tonight Season 3 of 2017, and you know, these last few races, I mean, we saw certainly the promise that he had in the Haas at the beginning of the season. Wasn't always the best of starts, but now that we've got sort of round about mid-season, and you can see obviously for him to be where he is in the table, he's been putting in some good results prior to that anyway, but these last 2 or 3 races he's really started to shine through and seems to have found his mojo.
No, for sure. I'm very, very impressed with Stoner these last couple of races. Singapore, he was fantastic, maintained the field well and took first place with ease, to put it politely. Stoner doing a cracking job here at Malaysia as well, extending his lead currently in front at the moment. We're about now over halfway through the race, and expecting him to become onto his set of softs on the next within the next 8 laps, I think. So within 40
we
laps.
should be seeing the next set of pit rounds coming up within the next 3 or 4 laps, and then that obviously is going to make it interesting. We're expecting, we think, Ferraris to probably go to round about the mid-40s. So
that we are expecting obviously these soft tyres at this moment in time, so obviously be extending their stint by at least 10 laps potentially on Stoner. Stoner's coming into the pits right now.
Stoner's coming in now.
What is going to go on? I wonder what is going to go on. I'm probably looking maybe softs, mediums are probably less.
He's going to go on to a set of softs.
Yeah, it could be. Definitely going to be interesting to see what Bo and Baz do though, because obviously Stoner was actually faster than Bo and Baz.
He's now going to take first place from Stoner.
Yeah, it is a set of softs. So how quick is he going to be compared to the 2 Ferraris?
Bass is coming out now, just on the start-finish straight.
Oh, bear in mind, Savage is looking for an overtake on Baz, though.
Bass, oh! Look at this.
I didn't even see that one coming.
I didn't see that coming anywhere. Oh, look at this. Bit of wheel contact there. What is Savage doing? Get off.
I'll tell you what. Baz was really squeezing him off track here, so obviously now that's really bad for Baz. He's going to be burning through those softs, and Stoner's going to be on a fresh set of softs and gaining time faster than Usain Bolt.
Savage.
It's unbelievable. This is going to be some good battling here for seconds.
Yep, Stoner came out in 4th, and he is now all over the back of this McLaren of Savage. Savage looking to put the pressure on Bass.
26 laps on a set of softs is very easy for someone like Stoner, who knows how to maintain his tyre degradation. The question is how quickly he's going to be able to get around the likes of Savage and Baz to maintain first place in the race. Going to be an interesting one.
Well, he's on a fresher set of softs, remember, so we're expecting the Ferraris to come in round about lap 10, but these softs of Savage will take him to the end of the race. Now, if you look at that gap, if Bo and Bass were to pit, Savage would take first place from them. Sorry, Stoner would take first place from them anyway. Yes, he does need to get past Savage, but I don't know if he needs to just really put so much pressure on, because look at Savage. I mean, Savage is really laying it down on Bass now. I think if he just hangs back, stays in the loop, but he doesn't need to push. All he needs to do is just stay behind these guys, watch that gap go in the front.
Takes the inside line as he comes into turn 2. Savage does.
He's got the advantage.
Baz is really pushing those softs. He's going to be struggling.
Baz is really, really pushing it.
No, really good racing.
That is fantastic. I mean, Stoner certainly had the line going into turn 1.
Inside line. McLaren's taking it. It's got
Turn
to be
4 now.
surely.
Is he going to do it? He's going to... Ooh. Look at that. Look, Bass sticking to his line. Savage is just left and right trying to find a way through, but very much
this
that
is terrible
his
for
style.
This is terrible for Stoner. It's terrible for Stoner because he doesn't want to be caught in the middle of a battle that could see him end up retiring or taking damage. He wants to stick back, try and get round Savage, and then get round Baz, not have to get round both of them. Attacking Stoner deep into that turn.
I don't think, to be fair, I would go the verse. I don't think Stoner needs to fight at all. All he needs to do is just stay within range of these guys. They are going to have to pit before him anyway. He's going to the end of the race on this set of tyres. All he needs to do is just stay in that position, and he will have first place back.
I wouldn't be so sure, because if the likes of Bo is maintaining, in fact actually gaining time on Baz at the moment, if this battle continues, you're going to have the likes of Stoner losing time on Bo. Bo only needs to find, he only needs to find about 6 to 10 seconds in the next 5 or so laps, which is possible if you're stuck behind the battle. And I mean, all to play for.
That gap to Bass to Bo was round about 8 seconds. We're now down to 6 seconds.
Bo could be struggling. Yeah, Bo could be struggling on
they take up 2
2
seconds. So this is what I'm thinking. It's like he's starting to obviously either have issues, or Bass has opened up the mix to try and pull away from Savage. But these times are getting faster, and Stoner is still there. He's in the mix, so that's why I'm thinking, stay in the mix. These guys are going to pit before you anyway. Just don't risk it. But he is looking to make that move, certainly on Savage. You can see it.
Jerome and Gamble now both into the pits. I'm expecting Jerome now on set of softs to the end of the race, and that is the case. Gamble also on set of softs to the end of the race as well.
So everyone going on softs now, and John, he's in 8th place, remember, on a set of mediums. Oh, and Gamble, Savage, makes the move. Stoner's, what's going on here? Stoner had it, then Savage got it back. Not too sure what's happening here.
I did mention there's a bit of a backmarker issue coming through with the likes of Phenomenon and Boyke, obviously in the
I
Sauber.
think that's what it was.
They're in their own battle as well, so obviously with 2 battles happening in one on a track as thin as that in Sector 3, only going to lead to trouble, so I'm pleased to see that not too much damage was done as
Savage coming into the pits now.
That's because he's got front wing damage, I think.
Yes, he has. On the front inside
Was that a bit because of the incident that happened earlier, just at the top of the road from that?
I think it was, as that one I was trying to remember, because I said, I couldn't quite see what was happening there. So that's now released Stoner into third place to close down Bass, and he's only, just over 1.5 seconds behind Bass at this moment in time.
On a fresh set of softs.
Stoner's pretty much got this in the bag, I think. If everything stays as it is.
Everything stays as it is, it's Stoner's to lose.
But look at Slim Shaney in the Williams, 5th place. He's going to be very, very happy with that. He's splitting the McLarens at this moment in time. Savage, as we said, is in 4th. Slim is in 5th. Gamble out in 6th. Jerome is in 7th. So Jerome not doing too bad either. He's 7th, so he's happy with that. John in 8th. He's on that set of mediums, so he's got at least about, we think probably 10 laps or so thereabouts before he's going to come in. But he's going to be coming in around about the same time as Bass and Bo.
Yeah.
So we're going to expect another sort of set of pits, probably between sort of laps 43 and 46. So this really has mixed it up. And Stoner really, I think he's just played this beautifully. He's just set the fastest provisional time, 1:39.5. Sorry, 1:35.5.
Yeah, setting fast times now, isn't he? Stoner is obviously looking to scare off the likes of Baz and Bo. Baz obviously needs to hold him back as much as he can and gain as much time on Stoner. But let's be honest, on a set of brand new softs compared to fairly old softs, can't see Stoner sticking back behind Baz for too long.
Now, this is going to be interesting because I know what Bo and Bass are like. They will fight it to the absolute ends of the earth. And I'm starting to think, if they know that they've got Stoner behind them on a fresher set of tyres, they're not going to want to pit.
No, I think the possibility, because remember, these obviously having to cope with full damage, haven't they? So, well, let's be honest, the chance of a puncture, especially around a track like this, where it's intense under the tyres, is possible. I can't see the Ferraris sticking on these softs until the end of the race. I can't. I do think they will go on to a set of super softs.
I think, remember, with a reasonable mind, I would totally agree with you. But if these guys know that they're going to lose valuable points, I think they're going to try and stay out there as long as they possibly can.
Just taking a look at the table at the moment with Stoner's position. At the moment, he's obviously in provisional first at the moment. Provisional pole position means that he will be taking 25 points. Obviously, at this moment in time with Baz, Bo now pitting, probably onto a set of super softs, I think, probably. Actually, no, it'll be a set of softs, won't it? Yeah, it'll be a set of softs for him. So he's obviously, he's doing a different strategy, I think, than to Baz, unless Baz is also going to go on to another set of softs. But Baz will be he'll be carrying on at the moment, Stoner on provisional first. If we assume Baz is going to come out around just behind Bo and in front of Savage, that still puts him in third, so 15 points versus 25. Baz will still have the lead in the championship. Not by much, but it'll still be
not by much at all. That's what I'm thinking.
It'll only be
Look
9
at
points.
this. I mean, Stoner is all over the back of this Ferrari of Bass. I mean, you couldn't get a cigarette paper between them.
No, it's definitely looking like an absolute cracker. Turn 9.
Well, turn 9. And this is where it's going to count now. Now, I think the advantage will come. I think Stoner will look to make the move on this turn 13 and 14. They come around 12
Personally,
now.
this is where I'd sort of get into conservative mode. At the end of the day, he's the faster car, he knows he is. He doesn't have to push to be the faster car. Just stick behind him, take a toe off him, take the RS. If it's possible to overtake, do it. If not, hang fire. But at the end of the day, Baz is going to have to come into the pits. He can't just stick on these set of softs without risking a puncture.
Well, I think he's going to go for it. I don't
there
think
he goes.
Oh no, he does pit. There you go. My words.
Set of softs to the end. Set of softs to the end. Next question is...
Bass is now into the pits, releases Stoner.
Question is, will there be team orders?
Teammate Bo.
Will there be team orders? Will there be team orders? Because remember, with Stoner taking, if it is going to lead as it is, and Baz does take third in this race, which is more than likely going to happen, as Bo is now
I
overtaking
think
him in
Bass is
pace.
definitely going to help his teammate as much as he possibly can.
I think
Bass
we've got to remember.
now.
So sorry, mate,
Bass
what?
coming out in third place. Sorry. Yep, you were saying.
I was just saying that with obviously Bo in third place in the table, Bo will be taking 18 points, which means he'll go up to 177. 15 points for Baz will put him on 214, with Stoner going on to 205, I think it is. So, not being funny, but no, sorry, 215 in fact. So Baz
250, he's on 190,
Yeah, so basically, I can't see them meet team orders in Ferrari because they're all obviously fighting for the championship themselves as well. So no love lost between the two Ferraris. It's Stoner's to lose.
Well, there isn't normally any love lost between them, and they're great friends certainly off the track. But when it comes to on the track, there is definitely no quarter given between these Ferrari drivers. But a little bird has told me that they will be assisting each other. Well, certainly Bass was happy to assist his teammate to move him up that leaderboard.
At the risk of his own championship position, I'd say, well done, sir. That's good sportsmanship. Definitely from
He's looking to risk his own position, but he's looking to try and get him up there and help him out a little bit.
Well, for sure, at this rate, they're both going to be fighting each other though in the championship. Just want to keep an eye out though on a good battle as well for third place between Baz and Savage. Savage in the McLaren. Look how close he is, only 5 tenths separating them. I say it could be the final podium spot for Baz. If Savage is at it, McLaren could take it.
Savage has set the fastest provisional time so far of 1:35.055. So he is certainly putting down some very fast times. And as you rightly say, he's only 5 tenths off the back of that Ferrari at this moment in time. But we're on lap 40 now of 56. This is F1 Tonight 2017 Season 3 Sepang. And what a race we have had. We've had some wet qualification, dry qualification. We've had a mix-up. Well, say mix-up. We've had a mix, certainly on the grid on the first 5 rows. We saw some Force Indias up there. We've seen some we've seen some Toro Rossos up there. We've seen the like of Williams up there as well, and some of them has maintained those. And then we had an amazing start few laps where back runners took full advantage, and one of those being Slim Shamey for Williams. He's currently in 5th place, and behind him is the other winner, which was Jerome in the Mercedes. He's currently in 6th place. So great show from them. We're with Savage at this moment in time. He's looking to put pressure down on Bass in the Ferrari. He's in 3rd, so this would be
look how
3rd
quickly
place.
he's gaining. Oh, look how quickly he's
He's all
gaining.
over
Here
the
he
back of
goes.
him. Look at this. He's got DRS. They're coming into turn 1 now. Oh, has he got it? Let's see. Bass has got the advantage on turn 2. He's on the inside there.
Yeah, beautiful. What a beautiful move from Savage. Come
Savage
on.
is really looking. Oh,
Touching wheels.
contact there.
And again.
A little bit of recontact as they're coming up to turn 4 now.
Oh,
And
dear.
Savage makes the move. Closes down
There it is.
on Bass. Nice move there. Coming around turn 6 now, and he tends to go a little bit too much on the track, but no, he stays nicely on there. So nice job. Nice job there from Savage. Taking 3rd place from Bass. Now he needs to close down on both, so he's got a potential podium finish there for him.
He's already on the podium, Savage, at the moment, with P3 at the moment, isn't he? So, with the fact that Savage is now P3, Baz down with 12 points instead of the 15 that we said he was going to have. Baz will end up with only 221 compared to Stoner getting up to 225, is it?
No, if he wins, he'll get 215.
215. So you can see the points
ahead of
difference.
him.
But the points difference
They'll
is
stay ahead of him, but there will only be what, six points between them.
all to play for the next round. That's for sure. If it stays as it is.
Absolutely. Absolutely, but you know, Bo will take valuable points, which he will certainly need. So I mean, Bo will get what? Let me think, 22. So that
Bo
will
will be
be on
getting, no, Bo will be
191.
getting 18. Bo will be getting 18 points in that one.
So Bo will be
unless
getting 18 points.
Yep.
So that'll put him on 187.
With UF Gamble obviously struggling down the table as well, currently down in 7th position, he'll be getting, I think it's 6 points for 7th place, isn't it?
It's whatever the normal points finish is. I can never remember, to be quite honest.
Yeah,
One of those that win gets 25.
in which case he'll be on 138. So Bo will be taking some very good points with him through to the next round and taking a big advantage over Gamble. So Gamble's poor race today is unfortunately going to cost him a significant chunk of points.
Yeah, absolutely. But as I said, it's been really so much of a call on the actual strategy here. It has come so much into play. See John, I mean, John's on lap 43 now. He's on that set of mediums. We were expecting him to come in fairly soon. We're expecting a round of pits now, but Bass came in a little bit earlier. He came in, I think it was lap 40 or lap 41.
Yes.
So Bo still hasn't come in, and this is what I was saying. I don't know what he's going to do, whether he's going to stay out there. See, both Bo and Stoner have only pitted twice, but Bo pitted a lot earlier than Stoner. Now, if he were to pit now, that's going to push him right back to, probably certainly 4th place, and it's going to release Bass into 3rd place. So this is still, a lot could happen in the last 13 laps.
Well, yeah, keep obviously a firm eye at the moment on 3rd for 4th as well, that's for sure. So keep a battle for Gamble as well. Jerome obviously on the set of softs at the end of the race, but he's only 3 seconds in front of Gamble, coming around turn 15 right now. So obviously a good battle for 6th position at the moment, as is a good battle for the final spot in the points as well, between Buddha and Martin BMW. So 5 seconds separating them, but I believe Buddha is on a fresher set of softs, so looking very interesting.
Well, there's still a lot can happen here. I think the Stoner's looking pretty safe though, certainly for the win. It's all a question really of that 3rd and 4th place. Well, saying that, no, because Bo as well. I mean, you know, he's going to need to pit at some point. I'm just looking at his tyres now. They're not looking too bad. I mean, he's certainly got some wear on the left, but it's not looking horrendous.
Yeah, the left tyres always go through a lot of strain around this track, so we're expecting the left to go first, but he's going into corners far too quickly, Bo is, so therefore he's going to be putting a lot more strain on the tyres, so he needs to slow down going into turn 1 and 15.
So it's still the potential for Bo to pit. Now, if that were the case, that would move Savage up into 2nd place and Bass into 3rd. Bo would undoubtedly come out in 4th. But he'd be pretty close to his teammate Bass. So, God, this is really... Yeah, this still could be Slim. Now Slim's doing his final stint. He's going on to a set of super softs.
Yeah, 3-stop strategy for Slim, an unusual one. He's obviously wanting to be the fastest car on track. I don't think he has a lot to fight for as regards to Jerome, because I know Jerome is now leaving turn 15, so there's going to be definitely plenty of time for Slim Shimmer to warm up those super softs and just absolutely bash out some cracking lap times. So he's not going to lose any positions doing so, but he will be gaining a lot of time on the cars in front by going on to a super soft tyres towards the end.
Well, the interesting thing here, he's got 46 seconds, so he's certainly not going to get anywhere close to Bass, so I think he's looking to maintain that 5th place. Jerome, I don't think he's going to be able to catch up with him on that set of softs, so I think Slim's looking fairly safe, certainly for that 5th place, barring any incidents.
I mean, you've got to take into consideration as well his starting position as well. Slim started down in P14, he's in P5, so like I said at the start of this race, these middle sort of ground teams and drivers who are struggling, who are excelling on their brand new tyres, with the front runners struggling or benefiting. Jerome, P6, started P11. Slim Shamey started P14, now P5. So we've seen some cracking racing overall from the mid teams. John F1 tonight, he's P8, he started P6.
Well, he's P8 now, he started P15. So he's gone from 15 to 8. Jerome's gone from 11 to 6, and Slim Shamey has gone from 14 to 5.
I know who my driver
So
is.
they really have put in a great race, all three of those drivers. And it reflects obviously in their positions there as well. So let's get back now to Bass. Bass only 7/10 now off the back of Savage. So this is going to be interesting. He needs to get that place back. He cannot afford to stay behind Savage. I think Bo, well, we're on that 46 to 56. I think Bo is going to try and see if he can stretch this to the end of the race on that set of softs. It's certainly going to be interesting if he does. And you can see in the background there, Savage and Bass as they're coming down the start-finish straight. So Savage is only 3 seconds off the back of Bo. And Bass now, he's dropped down a little bit. He's second off now the back of Savage. So there's still a hell of a fight to go on here. I think still it can be anyone's. I mean, those Bo, Savage and Bass, it could still...
Got to remember though, haven't you, Woods, that Savage started on the softs a lot earlier than Baz and Bo did. So Savage was gaining a lot of time on Baz and Bo. Now he's losing time on Bo. When does Baz get back at him?
Oh God, Slim set the fastest time of 1:35.0 on those super softs.
Yeah, no surprise there.
In the race of his life here, that's fantastic.
Yeah, no surprise for him doing a cracking job, the Williams driver.
So yeah, but I take on board what you're saying. I mean, I don't know how those tyres are looking on Savage's car. Let's have a quick look. Oh, it's difficult to tell at this. They're not looking too bad.
Yeah, not looking too bad, but remember, obviously Baz on a pressure set, it makes all the difference on a track like this.
Baz is definitely on a fresher set, you can certainly see that. But yeah, I mean, the question is Savage going to pit, or is he going to stay out there again? I think he's going to try and stay out if he possibly can.
One thing I'm incredibly shocked about at the moment is John F1 tonight, lap 47, he's still on his set of medium tyres. I expected him on a set of super softs, much like what Slim Shamey has done. He would go down to, I reckon, P9 on Boyke, but Boyke would be losing a lot of time as soon as John goes onto a set of super softs. So the question is, does John maintain the mediums that he's had from lap 10, he's had 37 laps on these so far, or does he just call it off straight up and go to a set of super softs and try and battle for P8?
Yeah, it's not an easy one to call. As you say, he certainly would come out in P9, but he'd be probably a good 12 seconds behind, 12 to 14 seconds behind Boyke.
All you need to do is just take a look.
Of a catch-up.
All you need to do is just take a look at that front left tyre to know how badly those tyres are worn. I mean, you can see a massive groove in the middle of the tyres, really suggesting these tyres have, to put it politely, had it.
Yes, I think they are definitely beyond the redemption, or indeed going for any sort of remould.
I really would love to. I really would absolutely love to see the percentages as well. Obviously, we don't have these on the spectator mode, but I'd love to see the percentages on those medium tyres at the moment, because I guarantee they're screaming change.
He's in the... I would suspect he's probably in the 70s plus.
He's definitely in the 70s, and the problem is, with him having no grip, he's going to be gaining more percentages faster with each passing lap. He's got 8 laps to go. He's looking into the upper 90s if he's going to take these to the end.
Well, 6 laps. I don't know if they'll see 6 laps. To be fair, not the condition that they're in, but time will tell. So, Slim just tearing away there. He's very happy.
Baz. Look at Baz. He's
Still
getting
all over
time
the
on
back
Savage again.
of Savage here.
As his gamble on Jerome.
Desperately trying to get around him. I think Bo looking quite comfortable. Stone is certainly looking comfortable.
Jerome isn't though. Here we come into turn 15. He's looking for it, Gamble. Ooh, not enough space just yet.
So, oh, God, he makes such sudden movements there.
It works though, doesn't it? There he goes,
It
up on
does.
the inside. That's it. Jerome's got 7.
He's got it. So Gamble moves up to 6th place. Now the thing is, John's closing in on Jerome as well. Was it John? No, who else was behind it? Oh, that was one of the back markers. Oh, it's his teammate, Elfrans.
Nah, John's not going to be looking at trying to overtake anyone anytime
got a
soon.
time
Not on
penalty
those
there.
tyres.
So Gamble moves up to 6th place. I think that's pretty much where he's going to stay. Slim in 5th. I think he's going to stay there. We've got Bass still maintaining that pressure. He's still under a second behind Savage. And we've only got 7 laps to go now. I think Bo's looking pretty safe for 2nd place. He's not going to be coming in now. No, he's not going to be coming in now.
It's a surprising call for sure with John on the set of mediums. I'm still keeping a firm eye on what his strategy is, because if he is going to the end on those mediums, that's 46 laps on a set of medium tyres. They'll be screaming 90% surely.
Well, and the danger, unfortunately, is with some of these corners, there's an exceptionally high load, obviously on that front left. It's every possibility of a blowout.
Yeah, got to keep it calm, got to keep it collected. He's still not actually losing time on Boyke, surprisingly enough, so Boyke currently is struggling at the moment. So John at the moment is just thinking to himself, right, okay, I'm not losing time on anyone, so do I just continue or do I just risk it, knowing that I'm going to be able to be a significantly faster car. It's a win-win for John. It should be 8 for him.
Indeed. Let's keep an eye on that. And Savage is closing down on Bo.
The thoughts
Bass has dropped back somewhat now. Yeah. So Bass has dropped back now to 1.5 seconds behind Savage. And Savage, I think, basically has just responded by opening up the valves there. Probably gone onto a richer mixture. He's got fuel to spare, so maybe he close the gap down on Bo.
Might have played a calm and collected race to make sure. Here he goes. Ooh, okay. Just saying, he may have played a bit of a sandbagging game to make sure that these tyres, as Baz gets a 3-second time penalty, that's not good for his read. Oh, too fast going into turn 7. And I was just saying, it's very interesting to see what Savage has done. He's quite clearly sandbagged, let his tyres degrade far less than the Ferraris, and he's took up the opportunity now. Less percentage, more fuel, get it in there and try and get second.
Certainly seems to be the way it's played out, but look, he's gone wide there. Onto rough, that won't help in turn 8. Not turn 8, sorry. Turn 10, 14, here he is. Coming around 14 now.
Just make it clear as well, you know, if Savage does end up taking 2nd place and 18 points, he will move up the table from 90 points to 108, which will move him from 7th to 5th, sorry.
Yeah, to 5th, yeah. So he'll jump up 2 places there. So certainly valuable points for him. Look at him, he's all over the back, but look at this now.
Going for it, it's going for it, it's going for it. On the outside. Nice work.
He's got the advantage into turn 2 now. Look at this, this is nice and cool. A little bit of contact there, but it's still pretty clean. Oh, and again. Oh dear. Oh no.
Front end slipping out. What's he doing?
Locked wheels now. Oh my god. This could get very nasty very quickly.
No, No idea what happened with Bo there. He was clearly like gelled into his side pod for some reason. I don't know if it was a side pod glitch or if it was literally just him driving into the side of him. Oh, there he goes. Oh.
Coming down to turn 134.9 by Slim now. Second, again, he set the fastest time. This is really looking hairy as they're coming to turn 9 now. This McLaren is stuck now in a Ferrari sandwich. And he doesn't want to be the filling, he wants to be the topping.
Savage is absolute right to get round Bo, and he's probably going to have him on this DRS straight, because I'm just looking at the tyre deck now, and yeah, Savage is looking significantly less than the Ferraris.
So, he's gone strategically. Here he comes now.
Beautiful.
Oh, nice move, nice move. Very impressed there by Savage. He has somewhat redeemed himself. Oh, what's happened there? Bass has gone off. Oh my God, he lost it on turn 14, went onto the rough. And Bass
Can't do that, he's going to get disqualified. No, he's going to get disqualified if he drives around reversing.
He's going to be disqualified, definitely. Yep.
Well, no, he's managed to get away with it from the game, but whether the stewards disqualify him for a driving reversing around the track, we'll have to see. But that's awful for Baz. That's terrible for Baz. Where's he going to come out? Where's he going to come out?
Forget it, he's out of it.
No, but what I'm worried about here, right, is with his super soft tyre stint, is he going to come out in front of Slim Shamey? If not, Gamble's going to be on his, potentially his rear end. So there goes Slim Shamey.
I don't think he's going to come out ahead of Slim. I think it's going to be close. I think Slim is just going to edge it.
No, Slim Shamey's already gone past.
No, Slim, no, he won't. He will come out ahead. No, Slim does get through it, yeah.
Gamble is now coming around turn 15, so Baz is currently in P5 at the moment, with a back marker for Peter F1 tonight currently in front. That puts him now on 10 points. Baz goes to 219, Stoner goes to 215.
But look at Slim in the Williams. 4th place.
Oh, he's cracking job from the minute. Unbelievable stuff.
He is going to be so happy with that. We've only got 3 laps to go. There's no reason why he cannot maintain that gap. He's got 11 seconds on Bass. Yes, Bass is on a set of fresh super softs, but even if he closes down 2 seconds a lap, he's still going to be 5 seconds behind him.
No, I told you about F1 tonight, John F1 tonight, popping onto a set of super soft at the end. He's stuck onto the set of soft, medium, sorry, to the end of the race. Boyke has just overtook him on the DRS straight.
So he's not going to be happy with that. But he hasn't got much choice. He could have fought the place out with Boyke had he pitted earlier. Yes, he would have come out behind him, but he would have had the potential to come up behind him and take that place back again. So he's going to be disappointed.
A bit of a bad call to stay on the mediums to the end, but you know what, I don't blame him for doing it after the incident that happened with Savage earlier in the race. So overall it has been a really good race for John, considering he started in P15. Slim Shane, absolutely mega from him, starting P14, now P4, probably going to finish P4 as well. In fact, he's only, what, he's 40 seconds behind Bo, so
yeah. He's got a safe 4th place there. As I said, I mean, even if Bass takes that 2 seconds a lap, he's still going to be 5 seconds behind him.
Yeah.
So he does look like he's doing
that one. Cracking work for him.
So great job there. Bo in 3rd place. Savage, who is in 2nd, he's 28. Sorry, only 2 seconds ahead of Bo. Let's have a look at how their tyres are looking. His tyres are looking good. He'll certainly go to the end there. There's no issue there at all.
Yeah, the soft runners will go to the end. There's no problem with that. One person to keep an eye out on now is the likes of. Well, it's probably going to be the likes of Jerome at the moment, actually.
Jerome, yeah, I think Jerome
behind Gamble.
He's got the potential to close. Oh, yes, definitely, because Gamble's just gone off track there.
Off again.
I think that was turn 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So Gamble went off track on turn 7. Jerome's been able to close down. He's got it down to 6 tenths. Oh, look at that! Sliding all over the place, Gamble.
Yeah, Gamble's really struggling at the moment on those set of softs. It's going to be very interesting to see how this ends, but Jerome is going to have DRS. Interesting these last couple of laps in P6.
He certainly has the potential there to take P6 from Gamble, and Gamble again offline. Bass setting the fastest time now, 1:33.8, but it isn't going to help him.
That'll be funny as
He
well.
isn't going to be able to catch up to Slim.
That'll be funny, but I think Gamble's tyres are actually in a better condition than Jerome's, and Jerome is catching up.
I think they are, but he's just jerking all over the place here.
Yeah, he must be struggling, so it'd be interesting to see where he's struggling.
I don't know whether it's mechanical grip.
Well, lap 55 for them now. It'd be interesting to see what happens with that battle. One battle to keep an eye on as well is US Savage and Bo, because I'm not too sure whether Savage is going to have any penalties after the incident that happened earlier on in the race between him and John.
I think he's certainly going to pick up some penalty points. I would expect Savage to probably have 6 seconds worth of penalties, and I don't think Bo's picked up any penalties, so we might see the same thing that we saw happen with McLaren and Ferrari in Singapore.
Worth making note, obviously. Worth making note, it's not just obviously the penalties received in-game as well, it's whether the stewards deem that him at fault for the incident between him and a few of the cars, including John F1 tonight down in P9, which forced him onto the set of mediums. So it's going to be interesting to see what the best course of action is, but we'll obviously forward that through to the stewards panel.
Yep, so he has definitely got one penalty on him, Savage. Just check that quickly. Yeah, but I think he's only got 3 seconds. But that's enough, because it's 3.6 seconds is the gap. In fact, 3.5 now that Bo's got on Savage. So if Bo can take out 7/10 on this last lap, he could potentially finish ahead of Savage.
Nah, it won't happen. Savage has been gaining a lot of time on him now on those slightly fresher set of soft tyres by the looks of things. So I think at the moment it's looking like Savage's second place, but it all depends what the stewards give, because if he was at fault for what happened between him and John and all that, there could be some additional penalties given, time penalties for that during the race.
I think there's certainly. I'm not too sure whether those are being incurred or whether they might be applied for the following race.
Yeah, not 100% sure on the rules for
a grid penalty. So
yeah, not too sure.
Might well be the case. We'll see what happens. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you posted on the website as well. But if not, then certainly catch up with us next week, and we'll be able to fill you in as to what may or may not have happened with regards to that. I would suspect that it would probably be a grid position penalty that would be incurred in that instance. Because I think he did actually have a penalty applied to him in game, but we will see. So here we are with third place Bo. And let's go with our leader now, Stoner. As he comes round to finish to Sepang. Grand Prix for F1 tonight, 2017 Season 3. Our winner, Stoner. Fantastic result from him. Savage will be coming in second place. He's just come around turn 14 now. Jerome finishes in 6th, Gamble finishes in 7th, Grim finishes in 14th. Savage coming round turn 15 now. Savage takes second place. Behind him is Bo in the Ferrari, and he'll be taking third place. Slim in the Williams. What a fantastic race he's put in this evening. Very, very impressed with him. I'm sure he's going to be very happy with himself. He took 10 places, started in P14. He'll be finishing in P4, so great result for him. Great points as well, valuable points, which I'm sure he'll be very, very happy to receive. And that's certainly going to help him. He's still going to maintain, I think, 10th place in the Drivers' Championship, but what a result from him. So great result there from Slim. Bass will be finishing 5th, So in the points, but out of the podium. Jerome as well in the Mercedes. Fantastic result for him. 5 places, started in P11, finishes P6. Gamble, well, not so happy. He started P5, finishes P7. Oh dear, severe smash here. Looks like somebody's gone at the end of the race.
Sounds like an AI.
Looks like carnage there. Oh my goodness, we've got a Mercedes out, we've got a Red Bull out, but still, race is over. Well, what a result. Fantastic drive there from Stoner. We've seen him progressing through this F1 Tonight Season 3 of 2017, and a well-deserved win there for Stoner in the Haas. He is going to be a very, very happy bunny indeed. There we have Savage for McLaren, Savage for McLaren second, and Ferrari Bo takes third place. Valuable points for him as well. Well, we hope that you've enjoyed it this evening. I know I have. How do you feel, Jottr?
Yeah, cracky race overall. Really enjoyed that one.
So, look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you very much for joining us. We hope you've enjoyed it. We certainly have. And we look forward to seeing you next week, Thursday night. Thanks very much. And good